Hey.
So,
Oh, baby.
look,
Yeah.
he's saying,
He had a rough day, man.
No, he's cooling right now. I'm trying to get on that boat. What's this about? I mean, I know what it says, but like, is it something I could drive an hour for?
well, that's the first time they're doing it right now.
That's your final answer for me?
I'm
If you could have
saying,
she like, that's the first time. I ain't co-signing nothing.
Yeah, I ain't never seen it before. So like,
It's on the desk out there. That's how it's a whole pile of them.
He can be the
First time doing
yeah, the brothers, yeah, they good
I mean,
brothers.
it. I'm interested in the credit part.
And that's what they do. You know what?
Because it says introduction to real estate investing and credit. I'm more on the credit part. Please, the some credit to get. I mean,
I know that's what the brother does. Look at this. That's his day job. So
Somebody.
yeah,
and
You heard you say shit like that?
yeah, that's what you do.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it should be good. I don't have any reason to think it's not bad.
He's not selling money, so he's not. He's not selling.
You gotta tell him this way.
Right. He's staying neutral.
You know what you know. That's the first one they had, so he can't tell you how it's gonna turn out. And nobody knows.
The thing is, if somebody does that for their 9 to 5.
Now we get a chance.
Yeah.
Oh man, all on the business. Did you talk to all on the business today?
No.
Yeah, he sent me this stuff out in California, man. Dude, he shot how many shots? That was about 8 shots inside the police car.
Oh, I seen that.
You seen it?
I seen that, yeah. I seen that this morning. He walked up on the police car. It might have been yesterday I seen it. He walked up on the police car, shot in the police car. I don't think he killed neither one of them. They messed up.
Yeah, when I saw the story, it said critical condition.
Yeah. He was walking up on the car and started busting and walked off.
I guess that's like a new
Black Lives Matter. Yeah.
I think it's is it who's the I don't really know so police is police color. I'm not really, but that's something for them to now act like it's extra dangerous, like it's extra dangerous being police.
I know every year they going through it on the street.
100,000 cash reward. That's it. Yeah, it must be some black cops. Yeah, I think you're right, man. It must be 100,000. What?
I don't know. He was coming, he had the mask on. And a hoodie, so you couldn't see shit.
That's crazy. But yeah, we got L7, D Christian, SW, Edison, Brazil, L Boogie,
Speak to the gods.
YSU, Universal 7. There's an open investigation on the Compton, LA County Sheriffs. So the Compton police is different than the LA police, right? Which one is the one with Daryl Gates?
That was LA.
Love just came in. They're about to blame it on the gangs, you saying, all on the business? True Divine. "2020's been quite a year."
What's going on with the white boy that shot them people up there?
Kenosha?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's just in jail. Smell goods. Smell goods. Do you have the Baduism? The LA County Sheriffs have an internal gang called the 28ers, and they are at war with Compton Crips and Bloods. One of the deputies turned whistleblower. Man, that's crazy, man. AU happiness. So this is basically just regular LA shit. You saying? Like, oh man, as W said, 2020 just put all of society's ills on display. Pedophiles, race baiters, all type of wild shit. All in the business set. That's W. Yeah, people get killed in real life right on TV. Remember once upon a time, they would stop the film right there or black something out or blur it out or something. Now, yeah, they just show people, whether it happened fast or slow, they'll let the whole thing play out or, whatever the case may be. Edison, you rest out there in LA too? Fly phrase from the Providence Plantations. You can curse on TV now? Oh man, True Divine. What happened with what happened with that situation right there, True Divine? I'm saying I know you could say that like on cable.
I think you can't show on TV. Probably like fuck. Cause I heard ass,
On regular TV?
bitch. Yeah.
Like when Channel 7?
Man, the first time I heard bitch on TV was on Dynasty.
That's true.
Erica and Donna Carroll, they was fighting. She was like, you bitch. It's like,
Fine truth.
that's the first time I heard a bitch on TV.
Man, you know, it's a lot of young brothers, man, getting caught up. You know, Rome J, you know, we got the branch down. It's still some other trimming that needs to be done, but we got the branch down. But yeah, man, it's you know, they got a war going on here in New York. Uh, it's it's claiming a lot of young brothers right now. Man.
So the game one,
I mean,
it's wild.
it's I mean, it's a gang thing, but it's it's you know, the reason why it's hard to say it's a gang war is because of you know how many how many innocent people is getting shot. Like, it's not like, you know, they going and really having war with each other. So you out in Texas, Mr. 120. But yeah, that's just it's just situation after situation. And then you know what I think it is too, is that they've already ratcheted people's you know, like your dopamine and everything, they've already ratcheted it up to the highest level. You understand what I'm saying? So right now they can't put on the news, oh, it was a burglary over here, because now you got people used to seeing killing every night. So yeah, so yeah, you got to put killing on every night now. You understand what I mean? Or they really gonna have the same hit. You understand what I'm saying?
They gonna get the rating.
Yeah. You know, so right now, you know, everything that happens, and then, you know, the living in a whole camered up world, you know what I'm saying, is created a is just created a situation where you could
where people is acting because in certain ways because they know cameras around.
mm-hmm. Edson Brazil said, is it because of the drill music? What do you mean? Is it because is like this specific situation about the drill music, or you saying in general is the drill music kind of driving the young to be more violent?
I would say some of it.
Universal Seven said, what's the right and exact order to learn 120 as far as the 110, 136, etc.? I mean, it really depends on who you get it from. You know, the 120 wasn't first given in an order like that, and you know, brothers put it in order, you know, based on different standards. Some people got it numerically, some people got it chronologically, and some people got it, you know, from baby food to the meat.
But yeah, like you were saying, like cameras everywhere. Like, my man jumped off the roof the other day and killed himself.
You see?
And I know somebody got it on camera. I know somebody got it on camera. Because there's people out there watching.
The sister was there.
Huh?
The sister was there.
Yeah, my man.
Just one. S in Brazil said the war is stimulating the mind. I mean, are you saying like just to? I mean, you know, I mean the you know, it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing though. You know what I'm saying? When you say, is it the music that's causing it? You know what I'm saying? Or is that causing the music? You know what I mean? That's why I asked you, you know, you speaking on that particular situation, or you talking about the situation in general, because it ends up being a cycle. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially in this day and time where, you know, it's kind of like rewards. You know, it's rewards. You know, for you know, doing certain things, or you know what I'm saying. Well, like something big.
He got you. Oh, man. Like, when it comes to that, man, when it comes to that music, I be looking at it like when you had them cats like that was making all that sad music. Cats like Exploitation and the other dude that passed away. Like they made a lot of sad music. But at the time they passed away, they wasn't living no sad lives no more. They was going around, messing with all the girls they wanted, had money, traveling the world. You know what I'm saying? Like so, it's like they and they had a whole group of kids that was following them.
Yeah.
But they left them without giving them the redemption. Telling them like, okay, I went through that, but now this is how my life is. Then I get to see them dying like a crazy way. One of them gets shot, the other one OD.
Mm-hmm.
And then the drill music, that goes like you said, like that go both ways. Because I know cats who was crybabies, and now you're a rapper and you rap like that, you rap like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that, I know that's not your life.
Yeah.
And then you got people who make it their life. Like on Juice. How Tupac went bad when you talk about they were supposed to build a nigga around the liquor store. That's how we got to start going now. No, man. What is that? Blizzard. There was Blizzard around the liquor store. He said, we were supposed to be down with him. That's how he
Yeah. But and see that's what, you know, start happening too. You know what I mean? Is that you know, our culture in general start revolving around too much death. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, in music is just one manifestation of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just something that, over the years, you know, real has come to mean criminal.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's you know, a lot of people for criminal behavior they being awarded with fame and fortune. So that's a big factor in it. You know what I'm saying? But it's always been music saying different crazy things. You know what I'm saying? But what causes the people to be attracted to it?
Like I'm gonna tell you, like drill music. Like I was in Oakland when the hype music stuff first came out. You know what I mean? And people turned it to think it was like a dance movement or whatever. But in reality, like they just say cats was hyping, I mean like that they had their own with it, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And then they turned it into something else, but like and that was you know what I'm saying, this is in 96, 97, 97, you know what I mean? Like them
Mm-hmm.
young boys out there was like I had like my baby mama, she had a little brother, so he was like 16. And like, but I had not self, so I'm looking at life a whole different way. Plus, I got over the dub on it. You feel me? And I'm telling him about how it is for me in the streets. As far as like I can go anywhere, I ain't got no problems and nothing like what I'm saying. Whatever, like, but he was saying to me like he couldn't because just because he was a young boy in the streets, he already had a like that's what cats is aiming at. Young boys in the streets is coming at young boys in the streets. Even if he wasn't in the gang, he ain't represent nothing, whatever. Like he was liable to still be shot.
Mm-hmm.
And that was hard for me to understand for a long time.
I mean, that this, it's a different type of culture with a different set of rules.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but yeah, Alim a lot and Carlos Clark came in 793rd. But you know, Edison Edison put sucker moves, to reward for negativity against your own, but you gotta realize that that's the system, working perfectly. That's the way the system is set up and what it's set up to do. Yeah, some of it is definitely just to get a rep.
And, a lot of games start from that. Cats getting beat up. And saying like coming together like we ain't getting beat up no more. We gonna beat his name and then next thing that they gonna beat people up.
Yeah. Edison brings up a good point. How can the community police its own when some of the elders are afraid to correct their young or even speak to them? You know, the issue is that there's poor home training. You understand what I'm saying? Where now you got all of these new uh mentalities when it comes to raising children. You understand what I'm saying? Where uh you know individuals try to like peace. Yeah, they try to what's the word for it? Delay the introduction of discipline and principles to children. You know what I mean? Because it's in vogue now to, let them, uh, not have boundaries and you know, be free spirit in whatever different ways. You understand what I'm saying? Like Ali Mullah made a good point. Some are trying to be friends instead of parents. You understand what I mean? Or adults, around the children in general. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so when you delay the introduction, right, of the principles and discipline, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily talking about the placing of hands, but discipline. You understand what I'm saying? Uh, what happens is now that's not instilled in them. So what's happening is people are waiting until you get 16, 17, 18, right? And now they trying to introduce principles and discipline in, and that's really too late. You see what I'm saying? The actual, how a person is introduced to the rites of passage, at this point is, I mean, it's non-existent, and then if it does happen, it's delayed. You know what I'm saying? Like the age that people can kind of play the I'm a kid card is much older now. You know what I'm saying? And also uh because maturity is kind of delayed now, right? Uh it takes individuals longer to grow out of that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So you wouldn't see people over a certain age, right? Saying that, they got a big home. You understand what I'm saying? Once upon a time. You see what I'm saying? This is different things about not saying that a person wouldn't always have a person, that introduced them to the gang or whatever that they respect. But just saying that, people being, active at certain ages, at a different time, people moved on with their life. You know what I'm saying? They went, had kids, got jobs, and that was just a element of their history. You know what I'm saying? But so just the part of the population that's involved with that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying, is also, grown, is grown to the point that it's, when I look at it, it's not really uh it's not it's not like a demographic for it, you know what I'm saying? Where it's, It's the children of rich kids, the children of poor kids, it's famous people, grown
Let me ask
people,
you a question,
young
man.
kids, yes, sir.
Back when Colors came out, did you see that shit happening over here like this?
Absolutely not. First and foremost, uh, you know, uh, New York, it just existed a mentality that we was originators. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So even if something was fresh, if it came from someplace else like that, we really wasn't, we wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, our mindset was, I mean, first of all, you gotta realize that it's like, all right, so, we choosing sides and something that got nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? Like some of us is gonna be blood, and some of us is gonna be grit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dudes and who is these people, we just wouldn't respond to that. You know what I'm saying?
I did not see that.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying?
Like, especially not on this scale. Like, to where, like,
Yeah, nah.
I
But
don't think I know nobody. Like you really don't know you don't know nobody who either ain't a gang or know somebody that is.
I mean, that's what hip hop did for it. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop introduced it, uh,
The street finish it.
it introduced it kind of to the masses. You know what I'm saying? Where
And it connected people.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
People who was gang member in this place
And
got to go to another place to perform or whatever, got to meet other gang members.
and it made it look cool. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
and
Jim Jones and them. Yeah.
right and but even with Snoop, you know what I'm saying? With a lot of uh just the kind of like the images, you know what I'm saying, that was just being put forth. It was showing mostly all the glamorous part of being in the game. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't really tell you about the 35 years. You know what I'm saying? You know, right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That, the multiple times getting shattered. And that, a lot of times that wouldn't, you know, be in there. You understand?
Remember that book Monster, Kobe Scott joint?
Yeah.
He talking about he was in a grocery store with his mom. And the boy drew down on him,
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? But see what happens, right? And because that's another element of it, right? Is that see, especially once he achieves that level of fame, right? Then his book, right? Even though he might mean it as a deterrent, it becomes a blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Where all the young kids who wanna, rise to that level, they try to top everything that he did. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely. Definitely. Like how they say, how many people turn pimps after they actually shot?
SW said, are they big homies or mentors? I mean,
They call them big homies.
I mean, look, if you like 35 plus, I mean, where are you being mentored? You know what I'm saying? I mean, not saying that it's nothing that you can learn, which is kind of related to the title of today's live and everything, but
So you don't think that after a certain age you can be a mentor?
I'm saying in what? I'm saying like if you've been in the game, right, and you 35, I mean you probably been doing this for 20 years.
You're talking about in a game, just
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why would you even consider that a mentor though at the same time?
I don't know that this was in the room right there.
It might be controversial.
Yeah,
Like a mentor, that takes on a different connotation to it.
Like I'm saying, look, like put like this: if you 35, right, and you get into politics, you understand what I mean? That's something that you probably just starting off in that. So yeah, you would have a mentor in that. You know what I'm saying? If you 35, you haven't figured out this street stuff yet, you ain't gonna figure it
I
out.
say about 40. If you're at 40, if you're not doing big numbers, it's time to get a job. Drop 40, it's not till it's over. You live your shot.
That's 30. Right. Hey, we gotta try to find other ways outside of that kind of shit. Like my brother's always like, so we need this, we need more of these and more of those. But they're not making the move to teach and grow the kind of people.
Jack King said that's what I miss about the pre-social media days. Every locale had its own style. Even in Alabama, I could tell if you from Mobile or Bend or Birmingham. Yeah, you're right about that. I tell people that look, it used to be a time when you could watch music videos, right? And turn the sound off and just watch the video and you could tell where people was from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now, if you look at, say, like, well, I really don't know who's, doing whatever they're doing right now. But I'm saying, like, if you look at Lil Wayne and Kanye and Jim Jones, you know what I'm saying? They all the same, you know what I'm saying? Like, they style of dress and that type of stuff is all basically the same. You understand what I'm saying? It's
Nah.
yeah.
I would say Kanye.
There's a big difference between them.
But you can tell Kanye is from
The way they
Chicago,
dress.
though. Like, you wouldn't know that he was
The
from
way they
Chicago.
dress is a big difference. And Weezy dress is weird. Weezy
They all dress weird.
They are eccentric.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes Jim had that thing.
But they fly, right?
No fly.
Yes, it is. Land over here.
That's right here.
Sometimes Jim had that thing slapped on. I ain't gonna hold you. No, there's a big difference between them and the way they dress. I think, like Kanye dress weird and shit.
They all dress weird, man. All this bicycle chain stuff and all that, man.
They got that from the white boy.
Alim said, I grew up in Chicago. It was totally different in the 70s as far as street organizations. Yeah, D. Christian, that's what I'm saying. Now, if you just joining the game and you in your 30s, then I guess you would need a mentor. But yeah, that's, even the other gang people. Yeah, I don't even think the gang is trying to recruit you really at 30, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't think you could just start hanging around again. I mean, first of all, think about it. Let's just take it to the city signs. We ain't even got to deal with Supreme now. Let's just take it to the city signs. Dude, you police age. We know each other from we was kids. So look, if it's one of us, you had to turn. Yes, I'm saying. Like, yeah, I've been knowing you. When you went to the academy, I know, you know what I'm saying. I've been with you every day for the last 25 years. But you pop up at 30. Come on, man. You got to be police. Who else could you be? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
You're 36, man. You need more. You need a lot more. You need some pills, something else. Like, even if you've been in a gang, if you 30 in a gang, you still like wearing bandanas and shit like that. Like you still ain't make it.
Yeah, that's kind of going backwards.
You feel me? Like you been gang banging that hard since you talking about you been gang since you was 17. I've been gang 15 years. And you still wearing flags and shit like you ain't even graduated enough to wear these. You was ahead of the food chain. You know what I'm saying?
Eileen said in Chicago, you had meetings, literature, guidelines, and chain of command. Now everything is renegade. No one cares. It's about currency. And it's also about the kind of boss culture, where everybody's a boss, you know. So, like you said, it's different for people to really deal with the chain of command, you know, uh, you know, in I don't know why I'm on the city signs today, but you know, dudes don't really have, respect for how things work. You understand what I'm saying? In the city signs, they call it the game. You know what I'm saying? Where, uh, we in a chain of command, not because some of us is better than others. We in a chain of command because that's how success happens. You understand what I'm saying? Just dealing with the law of mathematics, right? One is one, two is two, three is three. You understand what I mean? Everything proceeds according to a sequence in order to be successful. You understand what I mean? And, in this computer right now, there's a certain chain of command. Like when you turn the computer on and you see different elements of the computer coming on one by one. You understand what I mean? First the screen comes on, then certain things appear on the screen over here. Then, first you can't move the mouse. Then, if these things go out of sequence, then it's not gonna work correctly. You see what I mean? But right now, uh, you know, especially, we in a society right now where they kind of individuality is something that you know, this is part of the propaganda that they feeding the people.
Individuality?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, being a part of something. So, you know, like I said, when you deal with music, you don't see as many groups now.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because uh, everybody's gotta be a boss. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be standing way back there with a drummer. You understand what I'm saying? Or playing a guitar. Everybody wants to be. So you actually got a lot of people that they probably should be a group. You know what I'm saying? And they would be more successful, but they are soloists and you understand what I mean?
Too many teams not enough in there.
Right, yeah. You understand what I'm saying? But uh that's just a change in how the world works, you know what I mean? A change in the mentality of the people.
Yeah. Some of like that shit over here. Like it did.
The Christian said, ask any of them dudes doing football numbers if they think the shit makes sense now. They rather be at McDonald's drive-through window. Hindsight is 2020 though. All in the business said most of the gang members in the West end up dead in jail or on drugs. Rarely do they make it out of the hood, rather it be military service, school, or career. Edson says some of us being in the global gangs, army, NATO, UN, never felt a need for street gangs. Yeah, that's a different level right there. All in the business said gang banging in LA is different. If you made it to 30 plus, you're considered a double OG just for the fact that you made it to 30. That don't mean anybody's gonna listen to you though. You gotta be 30 with bodies and money, or you might end up fooled. You see, uh, but that's a science right there. You know, anytime you a leader, you know what I'm saying, and the people you leading detect that you weak, they're gonna attack you. See Asia, peace, what's going on? You on Facebook today? Yeah, definitely gangs. You know, gangs. Yeah, it's difficult for cats to be free thinkers in the gang. It destroyed uh, kind of the uniqueness of each individual. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. It's an institution.
All of the business say gangs are a byproduct of not being able to think and do freely.
To a certain extent, I was like more like somebody trying to have a family to a certain extent.
What the gangs?
Yeah, feel like you got to fit into somewhere, or in
Um,
certain areas. Certain areas is, I guess, like Cali is more. You have to fall into that from the location where you at.
See the institutions that you are part of, the institutions that are around you, right? They calibrate your scale of justice. You know what I'm saying? Your internal scale of standards. You know what I'm saying? What you think is right and what you think is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, uh, you know, people in general is social. You know what I mean? So yeah, as a youngster, you know what I'm saying? You looking up to people that master things in life that you want to master. You know what I'm saying? So, there's elements of all that, you know what I'm saying, in it. But that's the most thing, is the kind of scale of standards gets distorted. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, uh, a person could be a part of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like if they grown up in the hood, they could be a part of a basketball team or, you know what I mean, a part of a church choir. What in particular makes them want to find a family in the gang.
Protection.
You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, now you got a distorted uh scale. You understand what I'm saying? These are some of the ways that we grow up. You know, in the ghetto is an institution. You know what I'm saying? Being from a neighborhood where you need protection, you understand what I'm saying? It's something that is distorting your standards. You understand what I mean? As opposed to if you grow up free of that, you're not gonna be. You understand what I'm saying? You know. All in the business said if you join a gang at 30, they're gonna kill you. Real talk. What is it? He said you was from another hood before you came here. At 30, what are you doing in high school? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you know, listen, we start bringing this thing down. Like, listen, man, now you too old, man. Man, you can't come do dirt with us at 30, man. You gotta at least be related to somebody or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the duty of CAPT and LIEUTENANT? Yeah, okay. You know, dudes that they put on because they got money, but those dudes is never really on. You know, I think what's the kid's name again with the rainbow hair? Yeah. 6ix9ine. I think he just proved that you know they'll protect the golden goose. You know what I'm saying? You know, and if that includes letting people think that you down with them, they'll do that. You know what I'm saying? But you're never gonna have you're not gonna be a part of their social equality.
But you shoot to the store. You want something from the store?
Coca-Cola.
You want something? Okay. Is it regular Coke, can Coke?
Hmm?
Is it regular Coke?
Yeah, I do. Yes.
How did you get on this subject anyway? We was talking about that last night.
What?
Oh, gang culture.
Well, we started talking about the dude that shot the police in the car.
That was in Chicago, right?
LA.
LA?
Yeah.
That happened in Chicago also.
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw two different stories.
Okay.
So maybe one was one was they had the video, dude walked up on the car, and then the other one I just read about it. But from there, the brother was saying that something happened to a young brother out in Medina, and then we was just saying that right now in certain places it's wars going on between these gangs that's claiming a lot of young brothers. You know what I'm saying? New York got one going on right now. It's taking place a lot in the Bronx and Brooklyn.
Right in Brooklyn.
The Bronx and Brooklyn is where it's kind of shaking out at. Eileen said I met a lot of guys when I was in the military that was gang related, and now that is the furthest from their mental. We all keep in touch and talk about our children. Well, like I said, being in that, atmosphere, that atmosphere itself is an institution, that causes you to think a certain way according to certain standards. You know what I'm saying? And, when you get out of that situation, just like you got some people that become institutionalized, right? Some people is institutionalized, to a situation, but a person get institutionalized to the situation outside too. You know what I'm saying? Where you got some people that you could take them out of the situation in the neighborhood, right? But then now they don't know how to interact in that other world. You understand what I'm saying? The things that they did in order to move around in this world, they don't work in that world.
It's uncomfortable. I remember I used to work in Brooklyn when I first moved up here when I was like 18, 19. And there was a guy from Brooklyn, like he was from Bed-Stuy at one time. He was like, he didn't even come out of Brooklyn. Like he hadn't been out of Brooklyn in 5 years. And I didn't understand. I'm like, so you don't even come to the city? He was like, nah, man, I never come to the city. And it's crazy, like to think that like, don't even go outside of like your whole neighborhood or that surrounding area.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand, like,
and that was very common at one point in New York. For there was just neighborhood people that they never really left the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Seldom left the borough. Especially like if you're dealing with somebody who the whole family lived like right around here. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah,
just don't want to see something different. Like I don't want to do. I'm saying just for me, like I didn't understand. Like I was trying to get him to come to the city so we can go there. I'm like, yo, let's go to the city, man, drink. Like, man, I don't go outside of Brooklyn, bro.
I mean, it's one of the things where it's just about experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, for me, probably the first thing that really, really took me out of the neighborhood was writing graffiti. Because we go to all the different, yards, we go into the end of train stops and everything, the end of we go into the end of train lines and things like that. So, you going around and you seeing different people, you seeing different things, but a lot of things is just about experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, if like for instance, that first thing you going outside, right, by yourself, you going to school. You know what I'm saying? So, you go to this elementary school right here, it's right in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? All the other people that go here live in the neighborhood. So if you meet a friend, you go visit them, it's all right in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Same with junior high school. If you go to high school in your neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? You don't go to college. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you end up doing, depending on the person, especially if the person is doing, if they do some type of dirt now, your business is in his neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's legal or illegal.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And, just like with any business, you don't get to just do the 8 hours every day. Some days you may be able to just do 2 hours, but on other days you got to do 20 hours. If it's your own business, I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, back then in neighborhoods was they was a little more segregated, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like right now you see it segregated, mostly they try to keep it on the money lines, but it's mostly just, white, black, Hispanic, uh, Asian. But at one time, you had Italian neighborhood, Polish neighborhood. Yes, I mean it was segmented like that. So in every neighborhood, they had all the stores that the people of that ethnicity might need. You understand what I'm saying? Like that need was served right there by different mom and pop stores. So if you wasn't really a person that you had any type of like if you wanted to sing on Broadway, then yeah, you might go to a particular kind of high school that specializes in that. You know what I mean? But for certain people that, you know, uh they didn't really have big dreams or aspirations, yeah, you never really see them leave the borough. You know what I'm saying? Like they might go to wherever is the cool spot within the borough. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, they might leave their neighborhood. And even then, they might not leave without 20 or 30 people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we going there, but at the same time, we got enough people to kind of transplant our culture, whatever it is, to over there. You know what I mean? We don't have to really do as the Romans do because we got 20 or 30 people. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, and knowledge came in. All on the business said fear is more valuable than respect amongst gangs. Would you say that fear uh, is more valuable like within the gang, like between the ranks? Like if you were a high ranking gang member, right? That fear of the lower ranking gang members, right? Or really anybody else in the gang for that matter, is more important than the fear of enemy gangs. Something ain't come all the way out about your statement, Rome J. It said, does anyone ever hear anything on where gangs? Reality allows that individualism is a disease that destroys from in and out. It's the very concept that keeps this country afloat. It stresses competition over cooperation, something foreign to our nature. It's devilish trick. You know, uh, that's a part of the system that we exist in right now, being in a digital age where one person can press enter on a keyboard, right? And it affects things all around the world. You know what I'm saying? So uh, the less people that the 10% needs, you know what I'm saying, in order to do things, the less they need you to have any allegiances to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, when it was an agrarian society and they needed a lot of people to do a lot of work, then that's when they favored big families. They made things easy for families to remain together, and difficult for people to go off on their own because, a person on their own in that type of you know, in that type of way of life is a liability. You know, but now, you know, that you just need, you know, Facebook just needs one, you know, college graduate to come over here by themselves. They don't need you to, you know, have this other family allegiance. They need you to be here for 16 hours a day writing programs. It's about time for me to ask you too, Allah will manifest. Uh, it's about time for me to ask you, what degree you on? El Lowry. We got 2/3 of the L brothers in here today. Jerome J says gang signs come from Alex Crowley writing a book on demonology and has an alphabet demonic and lots, if not most of them, gang signs are in there. Just one said signs are cultural, so you can put up a sign and it will mean different things to different cultures.
You don't.
There you go. Finished my 3-day fast yesterday.
Oh, well, okay. It's kind of look bad.
You got one now?
And I just really not bad. On like Thursday, last Thursday, I was
Oh, okay.
the first time fasting.
No, that was my first time fasting for 3 days, but so I do nutrition anyway, so
Okay.
detox once in a while, but not 3 days. That was pretty tough.
I did it for 2 weeks.
Just water?
They wasn't on a liquid diet, but I did the math on it and realized I could eat salad, like just to chew something that I was mean for 2 days, but I did it for 2 weeks and I lost 18 pounds.
All right, well, I did just fruit, vegetables, beans, and nuts for a whole month. Me and my uncle.
Wait, you did what? What was the first one you said?
Fruit, vegetables.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
All of the business.
Yeah, fruit, vegetables, beans, and nuts. We did it for a month, and I think I lost maybe 20 pounds. And then I transitioned to not eating anymore after that. And overall, probably in the last 3 years, I've lost 70 pounds.
All of the business dropping some signs on how you
I was like 260 at one point.
how you gotta manifest yourself as
My
God,
uncle, he was 300. He
even in a type of atmosphere where it's gangs.
No, he probably less than that. Like, and plus, like, he had diabetes, so that helped him with the whole detoxing and eating a certain way. Helped him build his insulin and everything like that. That's what made me go to eat healthy, because once I saw it,
Ali Mallah said they never caught the person in LA that shot the cop could have been a dirty cop killing a clean cop. All in the business that LA gangs respect the righteous. However, you have to be smarter than them and not put yourself in situations you can't control. They'll kill a righteous dummy, so to speak. God bless the return.
It's amazing how food can transition you from having these body to a clean body.
No disrespect to my fallen comrades. All in the business.
I had like 3 months.
For
Yeah. I lost a lot of weight. I got the last.
So you say now within the ranks and gang to gang, fear is the biggest denominator. Within the ranks, for example, if the big homie is a known killer who put mad work in, then all the other big homies will fear him. Now when money is combined, trade is heightened, it trickles down.
My stomach is big. That's what even made me stop, because he was building with somebody.
Yeah, you know, and see, that's another thing too. You know, when you're a leader, right? You got to think sometimes about who you're becoming the leader of. You understand what I'm saying? You know, if you becoming the leader of a pack of lions, right? Then you got to understand how this is going to end. If you become the leader of a pack of lions, you know how this ends, right? Does anybody know how it ends if you're the leader of the pack of lions?
If you're the leader of a pack of lions, how what ends?
How it all ends. For you as the leader.
The young one gonna come get you and kill all your cubs.
Yeah, eventually you're gonna be taken out. Because that's how lions do. You understand? Yeah. You know, that's
That's after a certain extent, don't know? Like after a certain age when the lion.
yeah, but that well, age is
Or talent.
age is what would you say? You know, sometimes, you know, age can go hand in hand with weakness. You know what I mean? Aging is a kind of weakening. So, you know, you could be attacked by almost everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like even the female lions, if they detect that the male lion is getting too weak, they'll attack them and run them off. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you got other lions that's been trying to take over, you know, your part of the range or whatever, you know, for the entire time you had it. You know, they're gonna be coming for you. You know, that's just how it ends. You know, so the same thing is saying that, uh, you want to be the leader of a group of cutthroats. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta understand how that ends. You understand what I'm saying? You know, if you're the leader of a basketball team, you know, that that situation got certain characteristics where, you know, it's gonna end in a win or a loss. You understand what I'm-
Those guys are trying to take your place. So.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? But see how they try to take your place, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be much different.
Yeah.
So in one instance, they can just take your place. But in the other instance, they gotta take you out.
Yeah, that's some deep business right there, all on the business. I think we'll protect the innocent and the guilty on that story.
So how do you like moving back into it?
Hmm?
You can't move from down south, right?
So I lived up here for 16 years, then I moved back down there where my wife is.
Okay.
Um,
How long you been back?
I got back August 18th, almost a month. No, what's the day?
Jack King
Yeah,
said
almost a
down
month.
south, unless a relative came from Cali or Chicago, our neighborhoods took on the color of the main school or recreation center. I see a lot of God. I see a lot of the God degree in it. Went from protection to separation.
Down south, so it was like uncomfortable for me the whole 2 years ago. But I'm happy. Yeah, well, Washington, I probably.
I've been 50, like Broadway and that.
Yeah.
American town.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's why I first did that when I moved when I was 18.
They got dudes out there that worship the devil. That's crazy. I mean, I heard people call themselves the demons and the savages and all of that, but I didn't know it was going that far. Saturday 3rd. That's a shout out to Queen's Flip. What's this? Agent White said tigers. What do you mean? Tigers are bigger than lions or tigers are greater than lions?
They don't call the tiger the king of the jungle. They call lions the king of the jungle for no reason.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Brothers calling themselves demons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's time, you know what I'm saying, right now, it relates a little bit to this topic right here, but getting into the science of experience, you know, and when we dealing with the degrees, you know what I'm saying, and it says, why does he fear the devil now that he's a big man? You know what I'm saying? Even though some people have it in their lessons where it says grown man, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason why it says big man. You understand what I mean? Because no matter what your physical age is, you understand what I mean? When you come into a new endeavor, right, and you starting from the foundation all over again, you're a baby in that world. You understand what I'm saying? In every world that you go into, you starting all over. And a lot of times, if you try to bring something from whatever other experience that you had before that, right, you'll find that it just slows you down in that other world. Yes, what I mean? See, because then what's going to happen is you're going to reach a point where you're trying to teach the teacher. You see what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with these new experiences, right, sometimes you got to look at the signs, right, of, okay, that was day one whenever you started that new experience. You know what I mean? So right now, most people in the room, right? If you got knowledge of self, you got a particular day when you was physically birthed, right? When you came on this plane, right? And then you got another day when you got the knowledge of self. You understand what I'm saying? So the decisions that you making and how you seeing things, you know what I'm saying, in the knowledge of self is also reflecting how much experience you have within the knowledge. You understand what I mean? Not your total life experience. Meaning like this. Look, if you make a decision right now on what you want to eat, you're not gonna include when you was ignorant when you was eating pig. You understand what I'm saying? You only go ahead and include stuff that comes from whatever day that you learned about dietary law, right? Up until whatever is the last thing that you learned about dietary law, you know what I'm saying? And taking the best parts of that, you will make a decision about what you're going to eat and what you're not going to eat. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and, you will see, for people who had the knowledge depend upon when you got it. See, like for me, I had the knowledge for longer than 2 times that I didn't have the knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? See, right now, if you was at 85% for how much ever period of time. You understand what I'm saying? All of that's ingrained within your cells. See, that's why right now there's different things they can do, whether it's your hair, whether it's your blood or whatever. They can look and see what you was doing. You understand what I'm saying? Because all that knowledge is ingrained within your cells.
Ain't nobody safe.
You see what I'm saying? So now once you come into the knowledge, right, this becomes ingrained within your cells. Yes, I mean, just, things become ingrained within your brain cells where a person could be quoting the lessons, right? I don't really even have to be listening to them. But if they say something that's not right, I'm gonna just say, hold on.
Right.
So, man, you understand what I'm saying? Even if I didn't catch exactly what it was, this thing is so deep now in my cells, right?
Something stuck out.
Yeah, that it just stuck out. Like, all right, something's out of place about that.
That issue.
You understand what I'm saying? This is a part of the experience, so you gotta remember that the same way that you was a 7-year-old. You know what I'm saying? And you had the knowledge of, certain things. You're getting a little bigger now. You know what I'm saying? You could go outside by yourself. You're starting to, when you 1 years old, every time you take a step, you got to think about it. You know what I'm saying? By the time you 7, you could be backflipping depending on, you know what I'm saying, the kid. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing in the knowledge. It's the same thing in the knowledge.
Okay, so I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You met my baby, you met my son. So now I'm doing homeschool full time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing nothing with the school district. It's all me.
Mm-hmm.
So I got his curriculum going. Where or how do you think to add the lesson, not the lesson so much, at least the mathematics into his day? Because, it's a change, it's a transition. I don't want you to focus too much on that with your grade. You understand what I'm saying? I need that balance. So within it, I want to add it, like he does a calendar every morning. Every morning when he gets up, there's a whiteboard, so he writes today the mathematics and the alphabet. We do that together because I'm running that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to add something in somehow every day, so it's part of your regimen. Because I'm building his regimen to his learning curve. I know how he learns, so we good. But how can I'm gonna be quiet and let you think.
Add them into the
into this curriculum.
Add them into the
topics,
the lesson plan.
So whatever I'm talking about.
Right, the ones that pertain. I mean, like if you you know, just for instance, if like this is an easy one. I'm saying that if you're talking about the Crusades, you understand what I'm saying? You know, you would
We didn't
go
get there
through the
yet.
power
The
degree and
first other
114.
thing besides math and all that, I'm about to start him on science. I got like just the basics of science to get into all of that. So I'm thinking somewhere with science is where I'm gonna throw that in there.
Well, with science, like I said, so if you're dealing with the build and destroy degree in 140, you know, you got like 40 different sciences in it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That, you know, from meteorology to you know, hydrology.
Yeah, I'm starting with the basics with him just to see where his head's at. You know what I mean? But science, I think, would be the perfect place. And math. He just started off with what integers today, right? So I think.
But that's what I was trying to explain. Like I was trying to explain to her because she was saying like you gotta find a way to integrate it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I don't want to overwhelm.
If you integrate it, that's not overwhelming.
But I don't want no resistance. You feel me? That's why I want to throw it in there.
Like I said, you shouldn't get no resistance. Like you just don't. If you're not making it seem like it's separate shit, how you gonna get resistance?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you put it in there like the other day, like I said, when you was talking about him being rewarded for doing certain shit, I was like, then I explained to him how that was justice. You know what I mean? Yeah. Use the words you use. Instead of saying just reward, it should be injustice for this, it should be injustice for that. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, cause you can see he's picking up the words. He's saying stuff like, I need the knowledge. You know what I mean? Like
he said that to me getting cocky.
So I know he's getting it. You know what I mean? He's just getting it. But like I know, but like I didn't want to. I asked him if he wanted to come to class. So I know he said no, but I know why he didn't want to come. Because he's still nervous about getting questioned. You know what I mean?
Genetic, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to tell her like that come from repetition now.
Yeah.
You get more comfortable. It's like every day, like almost every day. I write down because we got a cipher, you feel me? So in cipher everybody build on things mathematics. So when I do it, I put it in the cipher and then I'll send it to her and him. And let's see what they say about how then they come back and tell me how they see it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he sees it, but I'm trying to get him to understand like everybody's not going to be in your brain. So when you use these few words, you have to be able to expound on that so you can get to understand and understood.
Mm-hmm.
And one day we was building on I'll never forget this day. It was on the Wisdom Knowledge Day. And he was like, wisdom knowledge means being familiar with the problem. And I was like, kind of got it, but I really didn't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Many of less words.
Few words.
Sometimes when he say it, next you forget each 12.
Then guy El Sincere, he put the wisdom knowledge degree in the cipher. You feel me? Put it find out like a track of like repel. So I'm like, oh, that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? So when El was building on the lesson, it gave me a better understanding of what he was saying.
Yeah, you see, all of that is that's a part of the experience. You know what I'm saying? To where like see, even as a teacher, right? The people that you taught in the first year you had the knowledge, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, right? They're not getting the same, you know, it's the same lessons and all of that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the grasp that you have over it. You understand what I'm saying? And the things, the experience that you had, you know, on how different things come out, other things that you learned, other historical facts or scientific facts that coincide and show and prove these degrees, right? You know, you didn't know those when you was 15. You understand what I'm
Like
saying?
how you said, y'all got it before me, but I got it when it was
That right. You understand what I'm saying? You know, all of this right here is reflected the same way is, you know, when you were a child and somebody asks you to explain something to them, it's difficult for you to because you don't have all of the vocabulary together yet. You know what I'm saying? You don't have all of the different examples to explain, well, look, you know, this is what happens in this situation or that situation. You understand what I'm saying?
Like even with her, it took her months, almost, I'm gonna say years, months, and days, right? Because when she, like her first introduction to the nation was when I came for the unveiling of the sign, the street sign. And when we came, like, I got here like 8 o'clock. I was thinking, God's about to be out. It's like, you know what I'm saying? By that time, it was over. You know what I mean? So I'm like, so we took a walk through the school, walked back out and stuff. And then she started having questions for me. So that's what got me back. You know what I'm saying? Like I was already jumping in the water to get my feet wet, but then once I knew she was gonna have questions and shit, I was like, all right, I gotta get this shit right. So,
You know.
So giving it to her, and she finding, like I'm telling her like about mathematics and shit. I'm like, it's only really one way you're gonna get this right. You know what I'm saying? You can try to think that you got other ways, but it's really only one way. And she was under the impression that like when she seen the manifestation for knowledge, that's how she had to take it in.
Like literally.
And I'm telling her, no, you gotta come to your own understanding. You gotta have your own understanding. Like she would get mad at me because I didn't want her to watch videos. I didn't want her to watch like she get online and find alphabets and mathematics and shit. And I was like, man, take that shit off. She didn't understand. Then one day, going to Porch Building, I was building my Righteous Bar and Supreme Freedom, doing the Porch, and she adding on. I'm like, who the hell is you?
Because listen, because that's the only way. That's the only way the understanding is really gonna grow. You understand what I'm saying? See the lesson, right, or whatever, you know, a set of facts. You can memorize them, and then whoever's the most talented at memorizing can memorize them in that period of time. You know what I'm saying? If a person got a photographic memory, you understand what I'm saying? Then they can memorize it in you know one look or whatever, right? In an instant. But they're not gonna get the understanding of it, right? Because you actually need the experience of it. And one of the experiences that you need, right, is speaking it. You see what I'm saying? It's you know, because you know, just you know, trying to memorize, you know what I'm saying, a culture is difficult. You see what I'm saying? Because you gotta remember, you know, a culture is how the food tastes. You understand what I'm saying? The smell when you come in the house and this food is being cooked, that's culture. You understand what I'm saying? You know, the way, you know, a baseball cap feels when you put it on, all that's culture. You understand what I mean? People who live in another place where they don't, you know, like right now, I don't know what, you know, the robes, the Arabs, what do they call that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that feels like when you put that on. You understand what I'm saying? You know, yeah, I know it exists. You know what I'm saying? I see it. And if you ask me about it, I can tell you that exists. You understand what I mean? But really having the experience of that culture, you know what I'm saying? That's something that's totally different. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, like over the time, you know, you're gonna see that's gonna bring about changes. You know what I mean? You're gonna see the difference, just like you see a difference in the decisions you making from you see a difference in the decisions that you're making from before you had the knowledge, right? To when you had the knowledge, you're gonna see a difference in the decisions that you made when you had the knowledge 5 years from when you had the knowledge 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And then, you will be looking back one day like, man, yeah, I remember I thought all this crazy stuff right here, man. You understand what I'm saying? Be in the same way that, when you was, by the time you get like 25, you understand what I mean? Around that time, most people think they got life figured out. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They think they know just about everything it is. You understand what I'm saying? And they don't understand what these old timers talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? All this other experience. You see what I'm saying? You will see the same thing, uh, with the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That, when, people that had the knowledge 10, 15 years, you know, 20 years, they feel like they got this whole thing figured out, but remember, you got people that had this knowledge 56 years. You understand what I'm saying? And after 56 years, right, they still learn something every day. The ones that I know, I'm sure, I'm sure some other ones out there, you understand what I'm saying? But the ones that I know still learn something every day. You see what I mean? The difference just becomes, right, who you can learn from. You see what I'm saying? Once you pass a certain age, right, you really only can learn from the young. Like it's nothing, certain people you can't, there's people I had the knowledge with the whole time. It's not really nothing, you already built. But see, when I do the knowledge to whatever the young people is doing, that'd be something totally new. Like, look, in this last week, I just found out some new stuff. Majesty, the signs, look. Oh, I got my hater came back. I'm big time. Yeah, I got thumbs down. Hey, look, I was wondering what was going on, man. I get thumbs down in like a month and a half. I was like, yo, what happened? Listen, I was, I was starting to get upset about that, man. What happened to my haters, man? Oh, man, listen, yeah, hey, who knows, man? I should be able to tell. I wish I could contact him.
Find out where we went wrong. What happened?
Yeah, why don't you come on in, man? Holler at the guys, man. Lord Shalom.
And the funny part, you got this like I mean they had to watch, but they watch him.
So getting back to what I was saying is that also, you got to realize that, right? And even when I'm saying, like, see, a lot of times on here, I tell brothers that, look, one of the reasons you having a hard time gaining understanding, right, is because you're trying to understand something that's beyond your experience. You understand what I mean? That, yeah, you a grown person physically, right? You a big person physically, right? But in relation to this knowledge, right, you still a newborn. You know what I mean? Or you a toddler or you a child, you know what I'm saying, in those years. And the same way it is in life, you understand what I'm saying? Where everything, the people older than you, a lot of times they gotta tell you, listen, slow down. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're trying to get to the best part too quick. You understand what I'm saying? And you're not really putting enough knowledge and wisdom in. So now this thing is going to end up being an illusion. You understand what I mean? And it's going to get destroyed. And depending on what it is, it might destroy you. So you gotta realize that, you understand what I mean? And it's in anything that you're dealing with. Like right now, if you start playing music, you can't go in there and tell the music teacher, well, look, I'm used to holding my hands like this. Just that's how I hold my hands. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now you got to empty your cup out, right? So he could put his wisdom in there. And you could draw that wisdom up, right? And get the best part. But if you come in there with your cup already full, right? That's like when a person is listening to you just to talk. Like when you saying something to a person and then when they say something, it's like, all right, it's clear you didn't hear nothing what I said.
They were listening now. They can hear you.
You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, look, like that's not like you gotta ask them like, so what did I just say to you? Because obviously you said something different to yourself than what I said.
Yeah, what you thought I said? What it sound like you said?
That answer you gave
like
it had nothing to do with what the question.
Yeah.
They heard you. They want to listen.
You understand what I'm saying? But I'm saying that a lot of times, or something that I just seen in the group is that, you got to be able to have that level of understanding and humility. You understand what I mean? For yourself. You know what I'm saying? That it's certain things, that used to be a part of the wisdom that came to us. Is that listen, the things what I'm telling you, like I'm saying, whatever brother it might be, you know what I'm saying? He would tell you that look, the things that I'm telling you, just absorb it. Just recall what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? Just put that, store that in the Rolodex. It's not gonna mean anything to you right now. But when the time comes, right? If you've been paying attention and you put it in your Rolodex, it'll come back to you. Right at that point when it's saying, you would say, oh, yeah, now I know why he said that right there on that particular day. You see what I'm saying? And even in terms of, when you having you going through the experience of it, you know what I'm saying, and you get the knowledge at a young age, there's some things that brothers is building with you on that you haven't done that yet in life. You haven't really got to that point in life. Your different experiences, like, if you getting the knowledge, you 12, 13, 14, 15, you may have never really experienced a Judas yet. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Everybody right now, we ain't really get to a point, right, where somebody is facing a penalty that's severe. You understand what I'm saying?
Plus at that age, like everybody older, you still trying to teach you.
Yeah.
Like you ain't really amongst your peers like that.
Right. Now within the next 5 years, by the time you're 20, you know what I'm saying, you done experience all types of juices. You see what I'm saying? Because you more, first of all, in a world now where, okay, the consequences for the things that y'all doing is a little bit higher, where now, whoever got that nature in them is much more to be triggered now that they got something to gain from, you know what I'm saying, from crushing you. When you little and you just playing basketball, you doing what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? You may never have, even if you're doing, dirt, you know what I'm saying? The people, everything is still tight at this point. You see what I'm saying? But in time, you know what I'm saying? If you absorb the lessons, right? If you absorb the wisdom and the understanding that come in the lessons, you know what I'm saying, about whatever story that is telling you about Judas, you know what I'm saying, or whatever other betrayer. You know what I'm saying? If it's Jacob and his pops, you understand what I'm saying? Because see, Jacob did what he did, right? But in I know that in the Bible it appears to be physically. You know what I'm saying? But see, the pops was blind. You understand what I'm saying? So what it's telling you is don't be blind to the people that's right around you. You understand what I'm saying? Who might be the one snaking. You see what I'm saying? Because it's his wife and his son. You see what I'm saying? So when you read all that into the story, that's what you can take from it, is that sometimes, what I'm saying, you blind to the actual person, right? As opposed to now with Jesus knew it was him. You see what I'm saying? So how he handled it was a different way, but all of these is different lessons that you learn, right? And you know what I'm saying, that's how you can activate it if you wise enough, right, to see these things at a young age. You understand what I'm saying? Then you might not have to go through that cycle. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to go over it or go around it. You see what I'm saying?
That's every mother's wish. I'm keeping real.
But see,
you gotta go through it.
Like I was saying, with that, because it's the same thing physically as well as mentally. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that, if it's ingrained in you, you know what I'm saying, in your first month of having the knowledge, second month of having the knowledge, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, if the principles of this knowledge is ingrained in you at that point, right? Then, 30 years down the line, when somebody asks you today's degree, you still gonna, quote it. You see what I'm saying? But if you started off, without really thinking that these lessons is important, right? Then they're not gonna be important to you when you had the knowledge for 20 years. So it's the same thing where, like I said, you cannot delay the principles and the discipline, right, that you're teaching, especially to men. You see what I'm saying? Because, uh, women is going to have certain biological rites of passage. You see what I'm saying? It's not really that much a woman could do to avoid, like she can't, well, you got abortion, but I'm saying, without talking about that, when the time comes, she's going to have the baby. But see, for the man, he has to actually decide that he's righteous. You see what I'm saying? He has to actually have the principle, right, of being the father already ingrained in him, right? And you can't, that's what I see happening. You know what I'm saying? Just in general, where it's like, all of this kind of willy-nilly stuff that happens for 10, 11, 12 years, it's really, by the time you get to 13, it's really too late. It's really too late to be, teaching the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. You see what I'm saying? Because now they've already reached the world where it's like, all right, they forming their own culture now. You understand what I'm saying? They own, like, I don't want to go, like, for me, look, I'm not going to church no more. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that, because, by then I had already left. But, they got people, why don't you go to church? Nah, I ain't going to a person's house. I'm not even going over there because I know they go to church on Sunday. That's not even, you understand what I'm saying? I already have my culture, the way I'm formulating. I'm not doing that. You see what I'm saying? So, these are the same things you got to look at. And also, like I said, looking at just your experience of having the knowledge. Some of y'all is putting too much pressure on yourselves, right? To understand things that are going to come in time. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a lot of times, depending upon who you around when you get the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? If you around other kids, right? If you're around other kids, then you're a little more in a peer group where you still got the peer pressure, but how heavy the pressure is might not be as much because everybody knows around about the same thing. But if you get the knowledge and everybody you around had the knowledge 30 or 40 years, what happens is, you know, you have a hard time understanding that concept. Like, how when you were a kid, right? You have a hard time understanding the concept that your parents was children one time. You understand what I'm saying? It's not till you get a little bit older, you start accepting that, all right, everybody was a child at one time, but you still can't really picture it. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same kind of thing when you around brothers that, had the knowledge 56 years. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you thinking like, man, this brother always had this knowledge, or just because this brother walked with a lot that, he's a knucklehead. He's learned 2 years ago when he got out of jail. You understand what I'm saying? The same stuff the law was telling them in 1964, 65, 66. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just a science about the lessons in general, but then about everything that you go into. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, let's say if you went to school to learn African American studies or something, or whatever you was going there to learn, right? You got to remember that for every cipher, right? You got to be qualified in a particular way for that cipher. You see what I mean? Meaning right now, a person could walk in here, right, with a Harvard degree, right, and get sent right back out of here to go study. To go study. You understand what I'm saying? And by the same token, if you go to a job, you know what I'm saying, they'd be like, all right, so what's your qualification? Knowledge 120. Knowledge 120. Yeah, we ain't calling this. Don't even call that person. I don't even know what they're talking about. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's not the qualification to do that. You see what I mean? When you go into that world, you got to start from knowledge, right? And take everything to born in that world. You know what I'm saying? Don't think you could go in that world and skip steps. Even if you got it. Don't think you could go in that world and skip steps. See, that's what happens in this. People come in this world and think they can skip steps, right? Because you got age and experience in other things. But in this, you're only one day old. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever is the amount of time. Did everyone get that? Because this is something that comes up a lot in the nation, and it does get distorted. You can't necessarily just use that like I just said. Just because you had the knowledge this long or that long, right? Let's deal with this aspect too. Just like you got old fools walking around in the street, you got people that had the knowledge 40, 50 years, and they still foolish too. You understand what I'm saying?
So would you consider them having the knowledge then if they're still doing the foolish things that the 85% will be considered doing?
Yeah, they got the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? The only thing, they see, because look, the knowledge is one thing, right? Then you got actually living it out. You see what I'm saying? Which is now you're dealing with wisdom, you're dealing with culture.
So I mean, they like to understand it.
Huh? Yeah, they never got to the best part of having the knowledge. You understand what I'm saying?
So it wouldn't be they just know the lessons instead of having knowledge?
Now they know who they are. I mean, I see what you're saying. Is that if a person is doing things, that's detrimental to itself, right?
Mhm.
Like in our degrees, a savage is one who has lost the knowledge of himself and is living a beast life. So what you're saying is that if you know you God and you're doing other than that, you understand what I mean? Doesn't that mean you lost the knowledge? No, it don't mean you lost the knowledge. It means that when it's time for you to pay your penalty, it's multiplied by the fact that you knew who you was. You understand what I'm saying?
What was that you just said? What was that the lesson that you just said?
I said a lesson.
Yeah. You were just saying
See how he-
no, you just said something about I can't even remember what you like. You said I was gonna write it down.
Yeah, he the only person worse than me, man. Okay, let me and him be talking. Let me like, yo, what I was just saying? He's the only person worse than me,
Yeah,
man.
a person who knows the knowledge. You would say something like the person who knows the knowledge but loses to himself in the process or something like that.
Oh, a savage is a person
Yeah.
who has lost the knowledge of himself and is living a beast life. So, I understand, that aspect right there, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? They really just ignoring the truth. You know what I'm saying? They denying their own teaching. You know what I'm saying? And the penalty that they serve is going to be based upon them having the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like when as you get into the degrees, it actually tells you that. You know what I'm saying? And the knowledge born in the Bible verse is actually in St. Luke chapter 12, 47th verse. It tells you what the penalty is for the person who knows. In St. Luke chapter 12, 48th verse tells you the penalty for the person who doesn't know.
Let this help me clear up something too. Remember that last time I was asking about the 5%, 10%, and 85%, and the 5%. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying like I couldn't see that, but now like you said like they'll be judged. I don't got to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whether it is or it's not, as long as I know what I am, they'll be dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So whether they had the knowledge and or don't, they'll be dealt with.
Yeah, but y'all do make a certain point. You know what I'm saying? Where kind of one of them things where it sounds funny, but it's like you not really you got some people that play basketball and then you got ballers. You understand what I'm saying? So in that way, I understand what y'all saying too. That you got some people, right, that they say the black man is God, they know the lessons, they go through all the motions, right? But they never really actually knew what we was talking about. They never actually, it just became kind of like a lifetime fad for them. You understand what I'm saying? So when you see them doing certain things, it's because they never really first of all took it to the real level of knowledge of self. You understand what I'm saying? When you get the knowledge, you're getting knowledge, that the nation has. You know what I'm saying? But necessarily that knowledge pertains to you. You understand what I mean? You also got to make that pertain to you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when it says, the original man is the Asiatic black man and making their own primitive planet Earth, Father, civilization, God of the universe. You know what I'm saying? When you first come into the knowledge, you just you just the black man. You know, well, for me, when I first came out, so like you already a father. You understand what I'm saying? So you got things you made and owned and all of that. See, for me, I had to fill in all that in order to be the original man. You see what I mean? Now, just because you got those things, it don't mean that it's not other things that you got to deal with. You understand what I'm saying? In order to fill in all of that. So now you fit the whole description. You understand what I'm saying? Uh, you know, so you got people that never actually understood that that's what we was talking about. You understand what I'm saying? In terms of resurrecting yourself from the mentally dead. You understand what I'm saying? And being responsible for your own self and your own salvation. You understand what I mean? There's some people that never really understood that. So they just hear basically, you know, activating off of what they heard and regurgitating, you know, certain answers in the right spot. You understand what I mean? But they never really, you know, they never really knew what we was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? There are people like that. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing, like, so like you were saying earlier, for a kid, right? A kid who don't understand something, basically they don't understand it because they're a child. They haven't grasped the concept of what something is at a certain age. So once they get older, they'll start understanding a little bit later, right?
Say it again.
Okay, like you were saying earlier, as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and a kid, if you give him information at say a certain age, he might not understand it, but he won't be able to articulate it, right? If you tell him something.
Mm-hmm.
But when he get older, he's able to articulate it, right?
Mm-hmm.
To a certain extent, he's able to use his vocabulary to articulate it. So my thing is, if a person has the knowledge and he doesn't articulate it, it's like
They still got the knowledge, but they just the 10%. That's the definition of the 10%. Now, this is a person who they got the knowledge, right? And you activating off it, but you're not telling everybody else, right? Just that in and of itself, right? You are going to be afforded certain luxury, right? That everybody's not. Like, let's just say, look, if we talking about just the world of six, right? Let's say we talking about the stock market, and I got certain knowledge about whether the stock is going up or down. You understand what I'm saying? And I just use it to make more money than everybody else because y'all don't know. You see what I'm saying? That's the 10%. You understand? I mean, I'm talking about if we brothers, we together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, in the world, just Joe Blow is walking up the street. You understand what I mean?
If I know you and you eating, but you're not helping me eat and understand the stock and how to
right, yeah. And I said right. See, the way you put it was even better. That I didn't necessarily had to tell you my particular thing, what I was doing, but just give you the knowledge and wisdom so you could understand it and you could do it for yourself. You understand what I'm saying? This is already my stock. You could go find your own. You understand what I'm saying? You know, yeah. Now you 10%. You see what I mean? But you know,
they still have the knowledge. They're just keeping the knowledge for themselves and then teaching others the knowledge to know themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's at the root of the 10%. You know what I mean? Now the diabolical level is when I actually send you on a wild goose chase to take you even longer for you to realize that I'm taking advantage.
So loophole.
You understand what I'm saying? So
I'm taking advantage of you.
yeah. So
like I had you on the hook so long, man, I'm taking advantage of you too.
Yeah.
At the same
So see,
time.
not letting you know that you got right that's one level of it. But see, now if I teach you this whole other religion, you understand what I mean? That's a whole other level. You see what I'm saying? You know, but both is being the 10%.
Where he just denying you, he denying you and taking you off the trail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we,
so you won't.
We
And a lot of times you get back
direction.
on the trail at that time. Like if you've gone so far, like for instance, like religion, or you know what I mean, like to not know you God at a certain point, and then to give you like Christianity and to believe that there's some guy that's sitting in the sky as your God. That's and then to house that in your mind, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard. Like for me.
And then they charge you for that knowledge that God is in the sky.
Yeah.
How
old am I? 36.
Okay. See, like that's one of them ages where it's hard if you don't have that understanding when you're young. By the time you're 36, it'd be hard to believe that you is God.
And I realized that, like, even talking with my family down south, like, I would say things like that, you know what I mean? Or I would tell them I don't believe in religion. Like, so I got off the religious track probably about maybe 8 to 10 years ago. Like, religion, like, because my whole family is Christian.
Yeah.
Like, I was telling church, my grandmother's a pastor, my dad's a preacher. Like, my whole family, brothers and sisters, all of them. So it's like trying to talk to them about it. Like it's a debate, and it's like they're not even based off of knowledge. They're just based off of belief. It's just like this is what they believe. Somebody told them. It's just like it becomes frustrating. Like, yo, how you argue with me? Like if I give you one fact and then you just come back with this belief, and then you get angry with me at it at the same time, and it becomes a debate. It's like it's I don't know. It's crazy to me.
It's fruitless sometimes.
Like to not want to at least try to look at something else. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's what, like, that's one of the problems I came to deal with her. You know what I'm saying? Because she was already 36 years old. Yeah. I just wanted her to see something a different way. You don't even got to see it the way I see it. You don't got to see it the way I see it. But just try to see it a different way. It's another way to see it.
I'm an overthinker from the door. So when it hit me hard. And then I had to realize, take it in and personalize it. You know what I mean? Like, otherwise, I would read something literally and be like, well, all right, it says it right here. So what you saying don't match this. Like, it was hard for me at first.
See, what I seen is that it seems like too big of a gamble for most people. Like it's too big of a gamble. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what if I'm wrong and I get to the pearly gates? You understand what I'm saying? For real. And then how am I explain this? You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, you gave me free will.
It's too much responsibility.
You that too. You know what I'm saying? But you know, look, you're right. But see, here's the thing though. See now, not only did I have free will, but see, look, I did righteousness. And see, that is another, to me, flaw in Christianity.
Who did righteousness?
Me. Meaning that I was a righteous person for the time when I was on the planet. So when I get, if I'm wrong and I get to the pearly gates, we supposed to do it. But even though that's one of the issues with Christianity, right, is supposedly the way they do it in the religious circles, right? I could be a heathen for my whole life. I could be a sinner. I can, eat babies and drink their blood. Yes, I mean.
And at the end, I can say,
my bad.
God forgive me.
Yeah.
Get saved.
Right. But then at the same token, I could be righteous, right? Help the poor, help the elderly, educated, the uneducated, heal the sick. You understand what I'm saying? But if I didn't accept Jesus Christ as my savior, then I go to, you see, these are the type of discrepancies that I seen.
Because the difference is they're looking for somebody to save them. Like, I never understand that. Oh, you need to come up here and get saved. Saved from what? Like, what are you trying to save me from? You understand? Like, because, and this is where it clashed out with me, because like going to church, it was like I always saw people in the same position, man, for the longest. Like they was it was never no growth. It was just we read out of the Bible. I give you this, but everybody is still poor. Everybody is still stuck. Nobody's learning more. You know what I mean? Like, if it's gonna be an institution where you're I ain't gonna say charging, but instead you charge people 10%. Like at least I should get something out of it besides Bible scriptures. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I should be able to. If I come in there and I have problems with, like for instance, women who come in there who are single. You know what I mean? They have problems with dealing with being single, right? They want to have sex. Like, what do you help them with to tell them? Because you're telling me sex is a sin, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you help them if they get that itch real quickly and you're in church? You understand? Like, I don't understand the concept because
Red,
that don't work.
Red will help them.
But it goes with so many different instances, though. It could be somebody with trauma. It could be somebody with trauma who don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like, where do you get the counselor from? You know what I mean? Like, if y'all a foundation like that, y'all should be trying to help somebody get out of their situation so they can understand a little more.
But it's based on keeping you in that situation. Keeping you blind, deaf, and dumb to yourself and the world around you. They don't want you listening to regular music, none of that.
Oh, it's a sin to them. Like, man, it was crazy growing up. Like, everything was a sin. Like, I remember, so this is just my personal experience, though. When I was, like, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 16 because my grandma used to preach that I would die and go to hell if I had sex. So I was literally scared to have sex for the longest because I thought I would. But then I started seeing my friends. Like, I saw all my friends and they telling me about these experiences, and I'm mad because I'm like, yo, why they ain't died and go to hell? So then I tried out, and I'm like, yo, this is like the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm like, yo, y'all been hiding the best thing. Telling me that I'm gonna die. Like, it made me mad. Like, instead of telling me a way to protect myself so certain situations won't happen, don't tell me not to do it. And then because I'm gonna be more tempted to do it.
Right.
But tell me a way, okay, maybe you should use protection.
And then now you put the extra sauce on. You can just say don't do it.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna say I'm gonna die and go to hell.
No, I used to be nervous, and I had like little girlfriends, but I would never ask them for nothing when it comes to that point because I did not want to die and go to hell. Like, that was the thing. Like, it was a conscious thing. Like, yo, I don't want to go. And they would preach about living in the pit of fire, and I'm just like, as a kid, that's fear. That's fear-based, man.
But see, look, that's how religion is, though. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that, it's something. The more knowledge a person has, right, the less susceptible they are to religion. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's why you got, like scientists and people like that, they're not really religious like that. Yes, I mean, because you can't scare them with the different things. They could just scare you. It's raining hard, that's because God is mad. It hasn't rained in a month. That's because God is mad. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever it is, when you actually know what's causing it to rain, you know what I'm saying? Then it really ruins religion. And at least in the Black community, right? Poverty is a big part of religion. Meaning they got a group of preachers, right? That's called poverty pimps. You understand what I'm saying? And
that's a real thing.
Yeah, a lot of the people who was kind of getting involved with those churches, the Father Divines and the Prophet Jones and them, that was part of the thing, was that first of all, you had the depression. You understand what I'm saying? So, in these different churches, that's one of the things that they started with, is that you could go to them and get a free meal. You know what I'm saying? That was what they all kind of started on their rise, to a lot of popularity in the 30s. You know what I'm saying? But by the time you get to the 70s, And you know what I'm saying, you get into affirmative action, people getting a little bit better jobs, people got more knowledge now, you know what I'm saying? It started to kind of take away from their power, you know what I'm saying? So now you got a new group that they not so much poverty pimps from the point of they offering hope, right? That you will get out of poverty, right? They are poverty pimps from the point of they're giving a justification, right, for some people that's you know, if they got a certain amount of money, you know what I'm saying, like the Creflo Dollar type people, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, I've been to a church. Somebody passed away. I can't recall who it was, but I went to the church and there was a ATM. And you know, that's what I'm saying. This is not the same kind of poverty that it used to be.
It's a whole nother level. They do cash out now.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So now it's kind of you playing on people's fear of ever being poor. You understand what I'm saying? So they got to be kind of in this prosperity gospel. You know what I'm saying?
But if I only got something and you ask me for my last 10%, like, but then when I'm broke and down, you're not able to help me at no point in time. Like, you don't, they don't help. Like
it's always been a joke about the Reverend Cash. Yeah. Then when I seen Creflo Dollar, I was like, his real name is Dollar.
That's just it.
Like he made all the jokes come to life.
That's what I'm saying, man. You know, but so you know, it's still kind of you know, angled around that. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, and like I said, even for some people that got a little bit of money, it's like, all right, you know, like they got the saying that it's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to make it into heaven. You understand what I mean? So this is like the type of thing that, you know, allows a person that has some money to feel justified, like, oh, now, you know, this prosperity thing is what we really supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? But either way, like you said, the bill is really charged to the game. You understand what I mean? Because you ain't supposed to cash out until after you die. You understand what I'm saying? Like, whatever the preacher is telling you, you ain't supposed to cash out until you die. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever you get to the preacher, you understand, that's charged to the game.
Eternal salvation.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah. Yeah. Like if you show up and that's the preacher for your money back, it's like, just game ain't over. You know what I'm saying?
That was down payment.
Yeah, I'm saving you some. You understand what I'm saying? You know, like I said, that's the, even with the energy piece.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? That's you know, part of the reason that Protestantism developed. That was one of the things that the popes was doing, is they were selling tickets to heaven. You know what I'm saying? So that the person buy the ticket to heaven, and then you can do whatever you want to do. So like I said, when I get to the pearly gates, instead of telling them what I did, I just hit them on my ticket. You know what I'm saying? So I do whatever I want to do. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, that's always been a part of it. But like I said, you know, you ain't really supposed to cash out until after you die. So, you know, it's an airtight game. You know what I'm saying? Until people, you know, get a little more knowledge and they start seeing that, all right, man, you know, y'all got people come back, so they see the white light and all this shit, but they ain't never said, you know what I'm saying?
Nobody.
Yeah, you ain't seen no people. You know what I'm saying? You just seeing some beings of white and shit.
Yeah, and then what was that? Probably what the last 10 years they kept coming out with movies of God saying that they I guess they died and came back to life. Like yeah, like I ain't even never watched it because I never even wanted to indulge in it. But they had this movie called that they seen God basically, and they know that He's real and that they went to heaven and came back. And I'm just like, come on, like,
and they ain't actually nothing.
Huh?
They ain't that. That's
I never watched the movie, but
he said this is one of the things. Like I'm saying, you seen God? What you said? Look, let me tell you something. I asked people that was what the first thing. I was like 7, 8 years old. Like, yo, when you was praying, what you said? He said something back.
What they tell you?
But they gonna say that he said something back when praying when it's not. It's your own thoughts.
I asked him what he said, and then they'd say something like, "Well, you know, he speaks in mysterious ways. You know, you just gotta." You know, keep your heart open, and then he's gonna answer you in some kind of way. Like, nah, nigga, I want the nigga to answer me like he answered Abraham in that movie that I see. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? But
peace to God.
Yeah, Allah will manifest. What degrees you knowledge, Rick?
He back Savage 21 in the bell now.
Huh? I can't remember.
Joe Summers calling Savage 21.
Why is you? Hold up. Why is you? What degrees you knew last time? Why is you? Can't get nothing past why is you?
Then garbage came back in?
Yeah, it was, but it's out in the back now. There's one in the front. On the way out.
Y'all travel safe, y'all.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace.
So you was on the 10th degree in the 1 of 14. What degrees you on now, Wise you? Y'all know we got Mr. 120 in the room. Oh, he was on 11th?
Right. I think Shell left. Ain't nobody at the front door lock.
Yeah.
Alright. You want it like that?
Nah, just close it.
Alright.
What degrees you on now, Allah will manifest. So you got a new page over there? On a new page. So what you have? What's that? On the top? The Supreme Mathematics. So you in the 14th degree now. You know, you ready to come in? Hold on for a second, man. You need to let me see you you. Let me see you quote the 13th degree alive. I'm sending you the link right now. Get on the live stream. Get on the live stream. Allah will manifest. Let me see if you BSing me, man. Come on, what's taking so long? Hold on. Keep forgetting to put my banners. So, one, knowledge. Two, wisdom. Three, understanding. Four, culture or freedom. Five, power or refinement. Come on, I'm waiting for you to come in here. Six, equality. Seven, Allah, God. Allah, dash,
Okay.
God. All right, here we go. Allah manifest in the building. Yeah, I need the applause and everything. What's going on out there? You got your mic on?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're a little bit low, but I can hear you. Or is that just me? Hold on, let me turn my. All right, I got it. I think that's about as high as it's going. Yeah, say so.
Peace. Peace. Peace.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, you got the what's the 13th degree in the 1 and 14th?
What is the meaning of MGT and GCC?
That's the 14th degree.
Oh. What is the meaning of See Allah, Power, Truth Allah, Islam Nation, and Love, Equality, Islam, Universal, Truth Allah, Now, Equality Nation, Truth, Captain and Lieutenant. The duty of the captain is to give orders to the lieutenant. The lieutenant's duty is to teach and also train the private soldier.
That's I mean you the second part of the you misspelled lieutenant.
Chondig, God.
It's Lieutenant.
And yo, you can be asking my wisdom. I just be going through mathematics as I, you know what I mean, as I go through life, God. You know what I'm saying? I pick up 120 all the time, but you know, I'm really like, you know, trying to really get it back, God. You know what I'm saying? Because it's there. You know, I'm on that road.
I I mean, that's good. You know, came a long way. So you you finish with the 114 now. You know what I'm saying? You start on the 140 and stay focused like that.
True indeed, true indeed, God.
If
Lord.
if you stay focused, man, and doing the knowledge, a lot of the things that you're trying to grasp and understand, it's going to become much easier. You know what I'm saying? But right now, you got your direction in the water. You understand what I mean? In terms of swimming your 9,000 miles, you know what I'm saying? You got your direction in the water, stay on course.
Fact.
So what was this science that y'all was going through just now on the side rally? You on 8, right?
Oh.
Bill?
Oh, I don't know.
What you saying?
I said I don't know what they was dealing with as far as lions, tigers, and bears and shit.
Well, we was talking about, sometimes, you can look at certain characteristics of different situations. Just like we look at the characteristics of sun, moon, and stars, we look at the characteristics of man, woman, and child. You understand what I mean? And we draw all of them up through knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. In particular, we were speaking about being a leader. You know what I'm saying? And lions, they known to be leaders of their pack. Really all animals, they got a hierarchy, whether they dealing with a pack or what, you know what I'm saying? In the area, there's a certain hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? And we were speaking in particular about how being at the head of a group of lions, you know what I'm saying, is pretty much only one way that ends.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, babe, check them turkey wings.
And it's the same thing if you draw up the relationship, you know what I'm saying, when you dealing with these gangs, you know what I'm saying, the different things that's happening out in the street, if you at the head of that, you the head of a pack of lions. You know what I'm saying? So, when you in that situation, you not only got people from the outside that's trying to take you out, but you got, you always got to maintain your position even amongst your own pack. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in their nature to take out anything that's weak.
Colleen, come here.
What did he do?
Hey, God, I'm about to bring my little son on. I'm about to tell you what he did with my flag, God. I'm about to bring my little son on.
All right.
Savior, come here.
0.
He's scared.
0.
Yeah, 0. So right here, what you have is
they think it's a game, God.
Schools of mathematics. So what you were saying, you probably anticipated that next would be 10. You know what I mean? Now to the 0 is when they go from knowledge to born. It might help you to study the history of you got all of the business coming in. It might help you to study actually the history of the business.
I'm pulling him.
Please, I'm trying to get my microphone together.
Come here, Kyle. Come here, son.
Because 0 is only worth the numbers that's in front of it or behind it. You see what I'm saying? The numbers that's in front of it. If you got 0.0, that's nothing. If you got 0.01, now the 0 is in the tenths. So, yes, if you just got a 0, that's nothing. But now if you put a 1 in front of it, now the 0 is in the 1's place. And that's right. You understand what I'm saying? Now you have that. That's in principle, right? Meaning all the principles that make up every number that exists It's right there. And just like when you get to the alphabet next, the principles of every word that exists in the English language is right there. You know what I mean? Now, when you start to put them together, you know what I mean, you make all different types of numbers. You know what I'm saying? So, now, like I said, that's the principle. But now what you have is living mathematics. You see what I'm saying? And in living mathematics, you go from knowledge to born, and then your knowledge adds a cipher to show that it was complete. You know what I mean? And then you go to knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, all the way to you get the knowledge born. And then your wisdom adds a cipher to show and prove that it was complete 2 times. You see what I'm saying? So just like we were saying with the experience, right? It's like, all right, you know, say whatever it is that you complete. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, you got the 1 to 10, right? The first thing you gotta do is put it on cap. You know what I'm saying?
So I gotta remember 1 to
Yeah,
0.
you gotta put that on cap. Yeah, according to the number and according to the principle that's right there. So 1 is knowledge, 2 is wisdom. You understand what I'm saying? All the way down. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you have it on cap, you will have completed that cipher, right? But now, in order to show and prove that, you got to be able to speak it. So now, your wisdom as a cipher to show and prove that you completed knowing it and you completed gaining the ability to speak it. See, because everything people know, they can't speak. You know what I mean? Or everything people know, even in terms of, uh, there's a lot of words that we use in the English language, right? But we use them because we've heard people use them our whole life. We don't actually, if somebody asks you to define this word, you would have to tell them another word that is like, but you couldn't actually define it because you never actually looked at it scientifically like that. You know what I'm saying? You just always used it in the context that you heard it being used. You see what I'm saying? So, that's the thing you got to do with that. The other thing, right? Get the definition for all those words.
In the English language or just
in the English language.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Definitions, and I add something else, right? With the definitions and the etymologies. You see what I'm saying? And you're gonna gain knowledge of what all those mean. You see what I'm saying? And then from knowing what all those principles mean, then you'll be able to put them into activation. You know what I'm saying? But that's the first sort of business with that. Get it on cap, you know what I'm saying? And get the definitions and the etymologies.
Yeah, God. I was gonna add on to what you was just expounding on as far as, get all that information, because that's what it seems to be like when you step out here into the platform of the world. It's like you gotta be real, you gotta be, kind of educated, especially when you deal with like, the Hebrew Israelite brothers and, some of the Muslim brothers, because they got a lot of book knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They know a lot of words. And, if you can't decipher and if you can't, like you said, God, study the etymology of them words, then you will kind of get lost in the sauce. You understand? And kind of like, lose the knowledge of yourself.
No doubt. So Calm Islamly asked the question, what's the science behind being made to marry by the age of 16 in the 28th degree? Well, first of all, well, as SW said, by 16, they say
Yo, AOB, what up, man?
your
Call yourself,
hormones are at its best, which would correlate with healthy, strong, and good breeders. Well, there's a couple ways of looking at that. You know what I'm saying? It says that in the lesson, right? It says Yakub's first rules were to see that all his followers were healthy, strong, and good breeders. If not, he sent them back. And all that was not good in multiplying was, well, some brothers' lessons say was not, some brothers say was. Now listen, regardless of that, first, let's deal with the science of breeding and multiplying. You know, that's the first part you got to notice in there. Is if they was already sent back, right? And when it says sent back, right? Sent back where?
To the essence, God.
To the essence. Now, how we know that they were sent back to the essence?
Because we lost all knowledge of self, God, even over here in the wilderness of North America.
Yeah, but it's something else. There's something in that degree that tells us that they were sent back to the essence. Right, calm is wrong because Yakub did not build prison houses. The penalty was death.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So we know that all those who was not good breeders, the penalty was death. So see right here, calm is wrong where you said it says those that were not good breeders were made to marry. No. It says those that was not good in multiplying.
Yo, God, can I ask you a question on that?
Yeah.
The question I asked on that is, all right, as far as dealing on the mental aspect, as far as dealing with and not good in breeding, like say if she just was dissatisfied with the circumstances, like, no, I don't want to sleep with this person, I don't want to sleep with that person. But then again, she was forced, held down, tied down, you know what I'm saying? Raped, things of that nature. As far as making the devil, God. As far as dealing with the aspect of slavery.
The penalty was death and was enforced on everyone that fell a victim. See, when it tells you Yakub was successful in all his undertakings, that's what it's telling you. They handle all of that type of stuff right there. Whatever happened, that got handled. Was
but
no houses building, the penalty was death.
God, can I ask another question? All of our people who was not mentally dead, some was, physically dead, but some was mentally dead, God. And many of them recovered from that. So can that also be as far as dealing with Yakub, the God, as far as I call the God, you know what I'm saying, making the devil? Can you deal on that math with, like, you know, can you deal with that as far as mentally dead, not physically dead, God?
Nah, because Yakub dealt with a physical science. You understand what I'm saying? Which is, like, this is what I'm saying. This is where you have to understand to separate breeding from multiplying. See, breeding, right, is physically reproduction. You understand what I'm saying? Multiplying is mental ability. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
all those that was not good at multiplying. See, remember, everything we dealing with the heavens above and the earth below. You see what I'm saying? So you know, even when you look at the story of Jacob, it tells you that from the followers that he had, but they call them cattle. They call them cattle in the Bible, right? It was despoted and it was affected. You know what I'm saying? So that's the people. Despoted is the different people physically, all the different characteristics that they came over there with physically. The speckled is all the characteristics they came with over there mentally.
Sean dig. Hey yo, God, I don't mean to cut your wisdom, right? But you was building like probably like culture days ago. I forgot the live, but you was talking about how they say Jesus came and he healed people and shit, right? Paul himself. But I was thinking on the terms, right? Like in our nation, we got brothers that call themselves and are defined as doctors. You know what I mean? As far as dealing with that, you know what I mean? And constant elevation and higher elevation, right? Can you see Jesus as, you know, he ain't performed miracles, but, you know, he had the remedy as far as if they had a headache, you know, he got the Tylenol, you know what I'm saying? Something like, you know, if they had a stomach ache, he had the Pepto-Bismol, you know, as far as he had the medicines, you know, because he knew, you know, because he studied, you know what I'm saying? When he came from, when he was in Egypt, as far as they said, the 33 years or something like that, God. So do you think he came with the medicines? As far as, yeah, he was one of our brothers in, you know what I mean, matter of fact, you know what I'm saying, matter, you know what I mean? But do you think he came with the medicines and the remedies, like how today we got Dr. Selby's and we got doctors in the hospitals and things of that nature? You know what I'm saying?
This pertains more to what you was talking about when you said many of our people they were not physically dead, only mentally dead.
Yes, sir.
In the Bible, when it's telling you about Jesus healing, right? They're not talking about the body. They talking about people that spiritually and emotionally and mentally not well. You understand what I'm saying? And that was the resurrecting that Jesus was doing. You understand what I'm saying?
Fact, God. I can see that. I definitely see that. All right.
What happened? All in the business. I don't know if he froze.
Peace. Nah, I'm listening.
Oh, but did you?
My shit it was tripping. It was tripping. I had to go out and come in a few times.
All right. But did you get that answer, Calm Islami, Mr. 120?
What you doing? For what? Leave it. Just leave it. You do too much to be so little, my man.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus in the Bible, one of the stories, one of the infidels was trying to get Jesus' blessing, and he told him, he told the lady, you know, he don't feed the dogs, right? And then it said he brushed some crumbs off the table and she ate it off the floor. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's things in the Bible that talk about Jesus. In regards to Jesus healing, it doesn't giving people stuff as far as medicine, but just giving them word and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And healing them mentally, like the guy was saying, not so much as a physical thing. Even when he turned water to wine in the Bible, you know, he did that as to show people that he had power. It was a display of power that he could make, you know, he could make the water change in the wine. And then the other story was how he break one loaf of bread into 1,000 pieces. You know what I'm saying? To feed a whole village of people off one loaf of bread. So as you know, when they talk about the stories of Jesus in the Bible,
AOB,
all of it is on
cut your
parable.
wisdom, right? AOB, I don't mean to cut your wisdom, right? But I want you to kind of go into context when you talk about he feed a whole nation off of one loaf of bread.
Okay, well, it's just a parable in the Bible. It's a parable in one of the stories of Jesus. He had a loaf of bread or a piece of fish, one or the other. I think it was fish. He pulled a piece of fish out. They was fishing. They didn't barely catch any fish. He had one piece of fish, and he broke it up and he fed everybody.
Hold on, God.
He fed everybody with one fish.
Like, but look, draw it up like this though. Like, you know the saying, right, God? When you can't lead a horse to water, but or you can lead a horse to water, or no, pardon self. You
can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Nah. You could give a man you could teach a man to fish, and then you would feed him for his whole life. You heard, God? Jesus knew the coaches. Listen, God, he was teaching them freedom, justice, and equality, right? Freedom where you ain't got to beg the white man, or you ain't got to beg
I don't listen. I don't see it like that.
Yeah.
I don't see it like that in the Bible.
So just a natural question, God. How you gonna feed a whole nation with one fish? Unless
how did you get knowledge yourself?
The farmers, the fishermen,
let me answer
the culture.
Let me answer the question.
All right.
The same way you can feed a group of people with one fish is the same way you got knowledge yourself. It came from Allah, and then it spread out, and now you got knowledge of yourself. I got knowledge of myself.
Lord,
this is one fish. This is one piece of bread.
I'm dealing with
now
real time.
You cutting my wisdom.
Listen, God. If I take 1,999 followers with me, right? It'd be easier for us to feed ourselves if 1,000 people know how to fish, God, except just one person. So I
think you're missing the point. Listen,
right.
Pause. You're missing the point. You're getting into a story that I wasn't even getting into. I was trying to just outline something that I noticed about the Bible.
How you gonna feed one person or like a whole nation with one fish? That's all I'm asking, God. Unless you teach them how to fish. The culture.
As I was answering that question, you cut me off. You cut me off about 3 times, God. I mean, I'm trying to answer the question for you, but you gotta give me your ear, God.
Yeah, true indeed, God.
I'm telling you, you're asking me how a man could feed 1,000 people with one loaf of bread, and I'm telling you that's what knowledge is. Listen, that's what knowledge is. Knowledge is the foundation, and the foundation grows. The more it grows, the more I could build upon it. Listen to what I'm saying, God.
Can I ask you a question?
No, not yet. No, not yet. Not yet, because I haven't finished. So hold your question. You see, the more your foundation grows, the more you can build. If you standing in one spot and one spot is your foundation, then that's all you're gonna build on. If you want to make a step to the left or a step to the right, you got to make your knowledge grow. You got to know that there's room to your left and your right. You got to know the ledge. So what I'm trying to explain here is that the loaf of bread, the fish, the ledge, it's all the same thing. The same way you feed a group of people with one loaf of bread is the same way you teach a group of people knowledge of self with one mouth. You got one mouth. They got 2 ears. You speak it to their ear, it manifests within their mind. That's it. You don't owe nobody nothing else. And if that person could take that and break that piece of bread that they got and learn how to make their own bread, then now they could distribute it to another 1,000 people. And this is how knowledge of self is transmitted.
All right, God. I'm going to add on to that, right? Because you're absolutely right. But I'm taking it and I'm drawing it up into the terms as far as coming from a youth and seeing the reality that I've been based and brought up in. Right? I just found out probably like a year ago or probably like 2 years ago that Allah was Malcolm X's student, right? Now I draw it up as far as with the loaf of bread, right? Coming from, say, Jesus saying he's the son of God, right? and that Allah the Father, I'm just showing a comparison, and that Allah the Father being taught by Malcolm X, basically saying that teaching you to come up off of the slave mentality, you know what I'm saying, and how to do for self. As far as if you sit down and you learn these lessons and you learn this particular truth, as far as how to gain freedom, justice, and equality, as far as the fish and how to bake for yourself, to cook your own bread, feed your own family. You know what I'm saying? These particular characteristics, as far as being an individual, but also a representative of a particular nation. You know what I'm saying? To stand out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. As far as Jesus saying, as far as the loaf of bread. You know, like because I still can't, like, to my babies, like, they won't understand, God. Like, if I tell them, like, yo, I could take this, I could get a loaf of bread on top of my fridge, God, and be like, yo, this right here could feed 100 people. Wait, and they'd be like, damn, hold on. Just common sense, and be like, damn, daddy, I eat 2 breads or like 4 or 5 breads myself when I make peanut butter. So how that shit gonna feed 100 of us? Just common sense. But if I say, yo, son, I'm gonna teach you how to bake this bread for yourself, and this is something that you could pass on. This is something that's gonna build not even a culture, but it's gonna build. It's gonna be a building block in society. How to fish and how to do for self, how to bake bread for self, how to build for self. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what more like what Jesus was bringing to the table as far as about.
Right. Okay. I'm not going to disagree. I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Not looking outside of self, God, upon self, not looking outside of self. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was building on. You know what I'm saying? Not looking outside of self, not making it seem like, oh, it's something that's, you know, magical, or that's when I was going back to the doctor shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, it's possible for you to heal a blind mentally, God. It's possible for you to heal a disease that's, you know what I'm saying, a dis-ease within self, mentally as well as physically, God. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? And from what I've drawn up, you know what I'm saying, like only man and mankind can bring this shit about, God. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, let me add on real quick, God. Let me add on.
There's no other way to catch fish, God.
Let me add on
in the water.
All right, let me add on, because what I'm saying, right? You're right. But then again, I wouldn't pull out a Bible to teach my children shit. So if you pull out a Bible to teach your children a lesson about how to distribute and deal with equality, then you're dealing with something outside of yourself. I could show my son in the house, at home, how we deal with equality. How I go and I bring stuff back for y'all to break the bread. And I might not even eat the food, but I'm going to bring the food. You feel what I'm saying? Now, if you draw how you draw it up, it's how you draw it up. It's many different ways to draw it up. I was always taught that it's 9 different ways to see each degree, at least 9 different ways to see every degree. Every degree in 120, there's born understanding, at least. So by what you said, I'm not going to say it's incorrect. I'm just going to say if you use the Bible as the primary source of the education, then now you're dealing with religion. My primary source of education is 120. The first thing I open my mouth in the morning and talk about is today's supreme mathematics. Then we talk about the alphabet. Then we talk about the degrees. And then I go and handle my business after I know my children studied their lessons for the day. You feel what I'm saying? Because we have a foundation as a nation. Now, if you in a situation where you don't know 120, but you know the Bible better than you know 120, you're going to naturally teach your children that way of life. Because you're naturally gravitating towards the parables of the Bible, not knowing that these parables come from the original man. They come from you. So if you get this 120 and you get your knowledge sound, you're going to be saying and doing the same things as Jesus without even needing to read about him. You don't even need to know the story of Jesus for you to manifest the same things he manifested. All you need to know is the law. What did Jesus say? Is it not written in your law that ye are God? So if you don't know your law, okay.
I don't mean to cut your wisdom off, but when you talk about Jesus, you know what I'm saying? See, people probably read it wrong, you know what I'm saying? But in the mathematics, it said Jesus taught freedom, justice, and equality. You know what I'm saying? And when you're dealing with those specific, you know what I'm saying, those specific laws, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to look at it in a whole different light. You got to look at it in a whole
What's
different
freedom?
light.
What's
You know
freedom?
what I'm saying?
What's
Freedom is
freedom?
the cause to just be. Everybody's free, actually. Everybody breathing the air, God. Freedom is birth. Freedom is just being. You know what I'm saying? That's where people get it
To be,
misconstrued at.
wait.
You know what I'm saying? But when you talk
What's
about
the wisdom
justice and
degree?
equality,
Wait, let me ask you a
different.
question. Let me ask you a question. What's the wisdom degree in the supreme alphabet?
Born or be.
Be or born, right? So to
Those
be
are two
is
different
actually
aspects, God. Those
pause,
are two
God.
different aspects.
To be, when you say to be, that means manifesting wisdom, because that means to exist.
Nah, God.
See,
Nah,
knowledge is the
God. Listen,
foundation.
God.
Let me add on. Let me add on. See,
Yeah.
you saying nah. I'm not saying
Yeah,
no to
nah.
nothing you're saying. Realize I haven't said you're incorrect about nothing. So please,
But it's not a point of
don't
being incorrect.
hold
It's
on,
about
God. Listen,
correctness.
God, it's not about saying who's right or who's wrong.
It's about
You trying to,
correctness, God, and building.
okay.
Nah,
The
God,
wisdom
that brick
degree,
don't go there, God. The brick
the
go
wisdom,
here.
the wisdom degree in the
Yes, sir.
alphabet is be or born.
Yes, sir.
The word be,
Yes,
the
sir.
word be means to.
Yes, sir.
Now, thank you, God. The word be means to exist. To exist. So if you say to be is to be free, no. Freedom is a different word than be. See, the wisdom degree says be or born. And I know that freedom is after understanding is born. You can't be free until after your understanding is born. Now, all I'm saying is that freedom, justice, and equality that was taught by Jesus is not taught in the Bible in a simplistic way. It's taught in a parabolistic way, which means the true and living God, the black man, has to break it down in a simplistic form for children to understand. So freedom is the ability to make things happen without hindrance, without somebody holding you back. That's freedom. Justice is a reward or a punishment. Equality is to deal with things equally. This is what Jesus dealt with, right? The Jesus of the power degree dealt with. Now, if you say Jesus of the Bible, yo, it's about 70 different Bibles. So what I mean when I say, yo, you have to know 120 first before you even open your mouth about the Bible. Otherwise, you're liable to lead somebody down the religious rabbit hole, God. God, you got to listen to me, God. God, you're muted, God.
Hold on.
All right, mute me.
All right, go ahead, Lord, man. What do you say?
I was asking the God, what was the knowledge cipher degree and the knowledge cipher?
Go ahead, you keep going, because if y'all go back and forth, it gets good.
No, I just asked him a question.
He knows it.
But I just asked that question, God. I just asked that question just to show him how young Christianity is. You know what I'm saying? Not even talking about Islam, but Buddhism is way older than Christianity. You know what I'm saying? And Buddhism had a way more spirituality, you know what I'm saying, upholding and continuation than Christianity as far as being so young. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking at Christianity as far as just parables, you know, these parables mean something. As far as, like I said, freedom not just being just for the gods, but freedom being for all mankind, God, because we teach these people civilization also. You know what I'm saying? So freedom is something that you're born with, God. You're born with the breath of life. You know what I'm saying? But when you go through knowledge and born, you know what I'm saying? This is when you be, in order to exist, you got to make knowledge born. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Jesus was doing. He was making knowledge born to people who was just being, God. That's what I was trying to explain to AOB. You know what I'm saying? That, yeah, being born is the wisdom, but it's also wisdom for positive or negative. Not negative being, oh, you doing killing and shooting, but negative just being a dead mind, God, not being activated. You know what I'm saying? The positive being an aspect of it. All right, now I know. You know what I'm saying? Like the babies. You know what I'm saying? Discipline, that's when they learn, that's when they know. All right, so now I know at the age of 7 not to do this shit because this is what's gonna happen. Not only is this gonna happen, but this is not right. You know what I'm saying? Now they're born into the realization, God, that this is what's right and exact. You know what I'm saying? So as far as people looking at Jesus,
I got a question though, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, to be is a state, right? It's a state of existence.
Mm-hmm.
So if your state of existence is in the penitentiary, right? Are you free?
Well, at the same time, God, like I said in the lessons, you know what I'm saying? They were not physically dead, but mentally dead, God, you know? But that's the reverse aspect of it as I see it, as I could draw it up, because I was there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when I came home, all the love was there, because people, you know, yo, son, you my nephew, you was my son, you know, you was my cousin. But when I was there, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't really getting no love like that, but I had to come to understand that people got their own life. You know what I'm saying? They got their own life. And if you ain't making guac like that, then you really can't support everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's just like with Jesus. You ain't supporting a whole nation off of one fish, my nigga. That's impossible. So it has to be a different terminology of that. You gotta be born to the realization like, yo, all right, I got the same jewels, or I got the same tools, and I could utilize the same tools that he did.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
The same outcome.
But this is what I'm saying. If you're in the penitentiary, right, you can't make everything born that you want to. Like every idea that you have, right, you can't make it be born alive because you know that state of existence is not free.
I don't know, God. Like that's where I could guess people's faith and people's hope, you know, comes into play. You know, and you know, some brothers probably feel like, you know, this is the end, and you know, because yo, God, word is bond. I was locked up with 50 people that got 50 years. Man, listen, man, I was very thankful. Like, man, listen, man, I'm not trying to take advantage of that shit. You know what I'm saying? The brother standing next to me got like 35 years, son. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be like, listen, I can still make knowledge born, so I'm not gonna take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? On the backs of the brothers that can't. You know what I'm saying? So in all actuality, the word is being manifested, God, when they manifesting God. You know what I'm saying? And some type of form, God, you know what I'm saying? And that's the greater reality of it. Even though my brothers is locked up in there and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Now listen.
Let me add on.
That's how I see it, God.
And then you say that. Here's the thing. Now, when you say that you can make knowledge born, right?
Yes, sir.
You only can make knowledge born to other brothers. You can't make knowledge born to man, woman, and child.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is the whole culture. So you still limited.
What's up?
You know what I'm saying? And what you able to do and how you able to make your knowledge born.
On top of that, right? When you locked up and your family needs you, and you locked up and you can't do nothing productive and your family needs you, that is the loaf of bread. You are the loaf of bread. When I come home, when I wasn't here, and my old earth and my earth and all that, and my babies was struggling, yo, they was struggling, but they wasn't telling me how much. When I came home, I had to carry so much of the load. And they didn't want to tell me while I was locked up all the shit that they had to go through. What I'm telling you right now that I'm home, bro, you know how much relieved they are? You know how much relief my earth and my old earth and my children are, bro? I am the loaf of bread, bro. Without me, there is no damn family. I'm the original man. I'm the foundation. That's why I said, God, the foundation and the bread and the fish, it's all talking about the same thing, man. And the land. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to till the soil if the original man don't till the soil, God? Who going to plant the seeds and water the seeds and shine that light on the seeds if the original man don't, God? And then if we want to get literal, yo, to make bread, you got to have grains. You got to have wheat and all that shit comes from seeds. You got to water them seeds, God. You got to water the seeds is all I'm saying, God.
I don't mean cut your wisdom, but God, I'm going to tell you the difference, right?
Like, now you keep cutting my wisdom.
I grew up, you know what I mean? My old man, you know what I'm saying? He practiced Islam, right?
Hold on.
So
who's OG Bobby Jackson over here in the comments?
Yeah, I never really like
OG Bobby Jackson over here.
You know what I'm saying, God? I never really seen that like as my last resort. You know what I'm saying?
Who you calling OG Bobby Jackson?
So I don't think of it. I don't think of it as that deep. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that the wisdom gonna born the wisdom. You know what I'm saying? The wisdom gonna born the wisdom, son. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't have none of these, son. I ain't have none of these kids. Yo, I got 8 babies, son. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have no kids when I got locked up, son. None. You know what I'm saying? So I know better now. You know what I'm saying? And I know that damn son, if something happened, then I know like if I'm teaching, you know what I'm saying, certain things, then she will reciprocate that as far as, you know what I'm saying, she gonna receive that. You know what I'm saying? She gonna receive that. I don't think you can teach the wisdom. I don't think you can teach the wisdom,
I mean, God, you listen.
You're gonna be a woman, you know what I'm saying?
Unless you've seen, listen.
You can't teach the wisdom, God. God.
Hold on. Let me. Oh, he asked a question. Pardon self.
Give my mean Gino.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, guy. I talked about that nigga. That nigga's no good, bro. Stop doing this, bro.
Hey, listen. Hey, look. So, God, it should look. Sometimes it's gonna take experiences for you to confirm what you know is right.
True.
Right? For you to know that what you know, like, because if nobody ever experienced what you about to experience, then you don't know what you know is right. Like, yo, if you delivering I delivered 2 of my sons at home. The first time I delivered my son, God, I didn't know what I was doing. Man, my son could have died, man. My earth could have died, man. Listen. But guess what? I don't think like that. Nah, the baby gonna live, the earth gonna live. We about to deliver this baby. And I gotta have the extreme confidence. Like I'm a person that already know what he doing. I can't be weak. I can't show no type of weakness in front of the babies of the earth. So what I'm trying to explain to you is, God, there's certain things that you ain't gonna be able to confirm until you do it. See, now I can tell you how to deliver a baby. I could teach you how to deliver your baby at home over the phone, God. Because I delivered 2 now.
See, God.
What I'm saying is,
the best part for himself, God. So whatever I feel is best, God. Whatever I feel is best for my woman, you ain't gotta tell me nothing. Whatever I feel is best, she gonna do what I tell her to do. Because that's the best, you know what I'm saying, for our environment. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're saying because you cut my wisdom.
All right.
How am I supposed to know what you're saying if I'm still in mid-thought of talking?
Like I said, God.
I don't know what you said, God. I'm trying to finish my sentence.
Right. You absolutely right as far as in the universal study, as far as delivering children, right? But God, what I'm saying,
wait. God, you're missing the point because you keep talking while I'm talking. It's not about children, God. I'm agreeing with you, God. I just agree with you, but you're not understanding that I just agree with you because you still trying to be kind of combative, God. Listen, I just agree with you. You said, right, that is certain things you gonna learn. Yo, when you teach baby girl, you said you can't teach wisdom. You said you teach baby girl, and later down the line, you're gonna see that what you taught was right and exact based on what she does.
Yeah.
So I'm basically giving you another angle of that. I'm telling you that, yo, it's the same thing with delivering the baby. It's the same thing with teaching somebody
one. She already know. You ain't gotta teach her nothing. She already know how to push that shit out. If not, she gonna die.
You saying she?
But you ain't gotta teach her nothing. You ain't got to be here. You ain't gotta teach her nothing.
I'm not talking about her in
that
particular.
baby out, she gonna die, son. That's what I'm
not
saying,
talking.
God. So there's the moon having her own natural power too, God. So it's not always like we was building on the lions, God. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the lion is lazy as a motherfucker, but at the same time, God, he ain't lazy when it comes to defending his shit. When it
You're
comes
missing
to
the point
defending
of what
his
I tried to
shit,
tell you. You're missing the point of what I'm trying to tell you.
yo, God, there's a universal knowledge, right?
God,
and there's an
I agree
innate
with you.
knowledge, God. There's an
I agree
innate
with you.
knowledge, God. Wipe my ass after I shit up the toilet, God. There's an innate knowledge,
Hold
God,
on,
and there's
God,
a knowledge
pause.
that's universal, son.
I'm saying, God, just pause, God. You have to allow me.
That's
not innate knowledge, God.
Hey, hold on.
Nah, AOB
What I'm
going
saying
in.
is,
The God be going in, son.
You got 8 kids.
Hold on, G. Hold on,
you
G.
just
Hold
said,
fast. Hold fast, God. Hold fast, God. If that's an innate knowledge, then what happens when you can't wipe your ass and you 80 years old, God?
You gonna die, God, from toxicity, God.
Now it's close to now it's power, God.
You gonna die from toxicity, God. Like
hold
if you keep
on.
on eating meat,
Hold on,
God, and
though.
swine, you gonna die from
God.
toxicity, God.
You just answered my question, and I'm telling you, your answer was incorrect. I'm telling you straight up, your answer was incorrect.
I mean, pardon self, God.
Hold on, G. I'm adding on. What I said to
Yes,
you
sir.
is, you turn Bill Cipher, and you can't wipe your ass. What happens? And you said you're gonna die. And I'm telling you that's bullshit. That's now Cipher. That's not
God. But not only physically, God, you may not die physically, but mentally, no one will want to be around you. You will become an outcast, God. Nobody will want to be around you because you smell shitty. So you will be mentally like you will be an outcast, God.
Yo, God, you cannot show and prove that shit to me when it's people in this nation that's going through that right now.
Yo, God, listen. Listen, God, I seen my old dad wipe son, my grandfather had a philosophy bag, son. I seen my old man clean his ass, son. Yo, God, if I don't have no choice to do it, I'm gonna do it for my old dad. But if I got a choice, if I can pay somebody, I'm not doing that shit. God, I'm not wiping nobody's ass, God.
No, listen what I'm saying to you, God. And I'm telling you straight up and down, right? God. First of all, I'm not your son. If anything, I'll be your heir. Like, I'm free to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't approach you like that. Secondly, when I asked you the question I asked you, you answered it. And when I'm saying to you that the answer that you provided was not proper, and I'm going to explain to you why. Like I said, Bill Cipher. First of all, if you build Cipher, right, and you still teaching this knowledge, you ain't hear what the God said. The God said, now you a real 5%er. See, me and the God then went to different little, what they call the places where the old people be at.
Convalescent home.
Residentials.
Where we had to rescue some of our brothers.
Yes, sir.
Because they wasn't being tended to appropriately.
Yes, sir.
So we did what they wouldn't do for our brother.
That's amongst the 5%, God.
And that's what I'm telling you right now. So if you say to me that wiping your ass is an innate science, I'm telling you it's not. Word is born to Allah.
Nah, God, listen. Listen what I'm saying, God. Listen what I'm saying. As far as you knowing better, Lord. No, God. Hold on. As far as you knowing better, God. As far as you dealing with you being born into the reality that, God, you don't want to walk around thinking, God. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to walk around thinking. So wiping your ass is just a natural, listen, you're going to do that because you don't want to walk around stinking. But those who can't do it, God, that's different.
Hold up.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions now.
What are baby diapers for?
What's the question?
What are baby diapers for?
Hey, no, word is bond to Allah. I cannot hear. Baby ciphers. Okay.
Look, because maybe you dealing with a science, right, that's more advanced than me. I'm saying, it could be in the DNA. You see what I mean? Because I got, you got 8, I got 5 kids, right? All 5 of mine.
You got grandchildren now.
Listen.
You grandfather now, bro.
All of mine had to be potty trained.
What is born? That's not an innate science.
All of them had to be taught, you know, to go to the bathroom and, you know, the proper procedure to after you go to the bathroom. So I'm saying is that's
listen, God, listen.
How did you get your? Or I guess you didn't get.
I got a 9-month-old. I got a baby. He 9 months, right?
Right.
He being his walker, God. Now, at least a month ago, this when I started realizing, yo, he know when he don't want to be in the walker, when he, you know what I'm saying, when he saw you this, you know what I'm saying, diaper. Right. Because he'll go like this inside the walker. And I'd be like, yeah, it's time to change him. And I'll pick him up. And then after I do that, then, you know what I'm saying, he don't want to sit in no walker like that. Because it's uncomfortable. You understand what I'm saying, God? That's all I'm saying. Because I'm telling you, because I've been seeing this shit.
Hold on.
He probably can't wipe it, but he don't want to have that shit on him.
Though, bro.
Him being uncomfortable, right? And him knowing what to do about being uncomfortable.
It's different.
It's two different things.
And that's what you was talking about. You was talking about it being an innate science that we all know that we need to wipe our ass. If that's the case, then there's no reason for nobody to be walking around smelly and dirty. And the reality of the situation is you got some brothers that call themselves 5%ers that we have to tell them about the science of refinement, God, because they don't know about cleaning themselves properly, God.
That's what I'm saying, God, refinement. That's all I'm saying, refinement. He want to be refined. I ain't teaching that shit.
That has to be taught. That's not
refinement, God.
Innately. Because if that was the case, there would be no reason for us to send Musa to the caves to teach the devil how to get clean and have a civilization. If it was an innate science, we wouldn't have had to teach people that science.
But he not the God though. They wasn't the God. So they wasn't born with that. They wasn't born with that ability, God. They was born with 6.5 ounces of brain, God. They don't know how to be refined.
How much? How much?
You said 6.5.
Yo, who told you that?
Ain't nobody say he had a half.
What's the understanding? What's the understanding wisdom degree?
His limitation is 6, God.
Well, he's
not 6.5.
He's only on the 114.
And see, what I'm trying to tell you right now, with you being only on the 114,
you shouldn't even have said that.
Me acknowledging 120 for half my life and living 120 for more than half my life, and me living supreme mathematics for all of my life, I can tell you for a fact that the statement that you made makes sense to you right now. When you acknowledge 120, you want to say, damn, I said some dumb shit.
Yeah.
Because I done went through it. My big brother went through it. And
shit, I went through it.
Reality. You gonna have certain understandings right. Hold on, God. You have certain understandings right now based on the information that you have right now. But the information that you're going to gain later in the future is the information that's going to shed light on what you got right now. And right now, you see it one way. However, your life experiences and your teachings have only brought you thus far. When you deal with brothers that have traveled further than you, then you can grasp their understanding or grasp the best that you can grasp from what they've told you and apply it to what you know. But you can't actually apply it creatively to what you know because you haven't experienced that as of yet. See, you have made a statement about the penitentiary. One thing Christ always tell everybody about me is about how throughout all the time I did in prison, we always been close, we always been tight, that always been my big brother. Right? I did 17 years in prison, God. Right? And I'm telling you, when you started speaking what you were speaking, I said to the God, he's sitting right here, he can tell you. I said, let me ask the God a question. He said, hold on. Wait a minute. And see, my question was relevant because you started speaking about what you were speaking about. However, when the God addressed it, he specifically addressed exactly what I was going to say. In our universal flag, There's man, woman, and child. In the penitentiary, if you in the penitentiary as a man, you only amongst men and boys. If you're in the penitentiary as a female, you're only amongst women and girls. You cannot make your cipher complete that way. You can only teach what is complete. If I'm in prison for the rest of my life, my goal as God is to teach all the youth how to avoid coming to prison and being with me.
Hey, that's the God told me, yo.
I'm God.
You better catch you back up in here, God. Listen. Word is bond, God, as he told me. Yo, God, we better not catch you back up in here.
Look, so, God, wait, let me explain.
That's how it is, man.
All right, now let me explain something to you. Like I said, I did 17 years. God, I done been back and forth in the system. I done been with the brothers that told me when you come back, we gonna beat your ass. And then I done been with them, and you know what they said to me, God? Damn, God, what's going on out there?
Word, God.
Because we know you got the knowledge.
It's a fact.
We know, God, let me explain something to you. I taught classes in every penitentiary I've ever been in. I staffed classes in every penitentiary I've ever been in. So that within itself was enough for when I came back. You know, brothers say, damn, God, what happened out there? What's going on? We know you got the light. How could you not make it to the darkness? How could you not travel through the darkness out there? Because they don't know what to expect or what's actually going on. So all they was talking is, yeah, you come back, you gonna lose all your respect, you gonna beat your ass, all the rest of that shit. But when I come back, you know what I do? Teach class. Show and prove who the true living God is. Because that's the science of mathematics. Regardless of what, if you're gonna be righteous, you're gonna be right and exact all the way. That's why brothers tell you, you can't come back. Because you already showed and proved to us. Now it's time for you to show and prove to the world. And if you're not capable of showing and proving to the world, you know what happens to you? You have to go back to the starting point and pick up where you left off at. And that means you're going to revisit the penitentiary again.
Now, I've been running from the cops, God. I don't play with them niggas.
God, I'm on bail right now. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying, God. I be trying to duck that shit.
God,
just a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying?
God, hear me out. If you being righteous, you ain't gotta duck nothing. Even if somebody did you wrong, if somebody did you wrong and you said, you know what, I have to do something about this. You don't have no police because you did what's righteous.
That's right. That's
and that's
right.
why I'm telling you, listen, God, this is the month of Savior, Equality, Power, Truth. On the Wisdom Knowledge Day, I gotta go to court to get my paperwork for the bail that I'm on for the case that just got dismissed. So that I'll be off bail. I'm on bail to the Wisdom Knowledge Day, God. And this is what I'm saying about being righteous. When you righteous, you do everything right and exact. So yeah, of course, you're gonna have the devil. The devil's always gonna be the devil. So he's gonna counteract whatever you do in the name of righteousness. But if your righteousness is truly righteous, it's gonna supersede that. It's gonna show and prove that it was righteous. And you're gonna be victorious. And that's what happened with my situation, God. That's why I'm able to say
Victorious. Word.
This is why I'm able to say things to you.
Victory.
I don't know what your physical location may be throughout the geographical world that we live in.
P-Long, God.
Okay.
I'm in P-Long.
That's peace. That's peace. So you in now where I see.
True indeed.
And that's why I'm telling you what I'm telling you. You see where I'm at right now.
It's a fact.
I'm a Medina God. And I'll be throughout the whole 5 boroughs. Been doing that since I've been connected with this guy here. And that's why I'm able to say this to you right now, God.
True indeed, God.
You say certain things is innate. Innate means that it's intrinsic. It's programmed within your physical composition from the time your physical composition was created that you are going to do certain things. And that's not true. Because anything physical has, and I'm going to say this real carefully, has an ending. That which is physical has a date in which it physically was manifest and a date in which it will physically deteriorate.
Created too also.
So when you say that, this is the innate science, that's saying it existed prior to your physical. And prior to your physical existence, when your physical existed, this is programmed into it. And I'm telling you that that's not right and exact.
You got to be taught mathematics.
You got to be taught how to wipe your ass. Because that's
it don't got to be brought out. It don't got to be brought out.
Why is there such thing as baby diapers? And then even after you learn how to wipe your ass, when you get older, you can't control your system. And you start shitting on yourself. And this is why they make dependents. Not baby diapers, that's grown folks. That's not something that's innate, God. Don't confuse the innate from that which is innate. The mind is not a physical thing. The brain is. The mind is beyond just the physical thing. Don't get me wrong, because if there's a physical mind, that means that that physical mind brought into existence our physical existence. There's no way you can have something physical from something that's not physical. It has to be physical for it to exist. So the mind has a certain degree of physicality, but it's beyond physicality. It's greater than physicality. It's greater than what we attribute or attribute to it to be. And because of that reason, a lot of the things that we say, we connect it to the mind, but it's not supposed to be. It can't be drawn up that high. Just like the equality, just like the equality of water. The equality of water cannot be drawn up.
Yo, Lord, I was just thinking about the wildfires. I was just thinking about the wildfires and saying to myself, like, damn, if it was innate, then naturally it would rain, you know what I'm saying, due to the cause of the wildfires if it naturally happened. So that got me thinking, like, yo, somebody made them shits. You understand what I'm saying, God? If it was innate, then it would be a natural process. It would be a natural occurrence. As far as, yo, if the fire pop up, the rain gonna come.
That contradicts everything you just said, because diapers was created by man, whether they be for old folks or babies. And so was toilets and toilet paper. So that's
got me thinking about the Jungle Book, Mowgli and shit.
That's not innate science, God.
Oh, shit. You're right, Lord. You're absolutely right.
Peace.
You got to be taught that, God. You got to be taught that. You got to be taught that. You may have discomfort. You may have discomfort, but refinement has to be taught, God. You're absolutely right.
God, you made a statement that I had to check. My name is born perfection, God.
Yes, sir.
What you said was not in sync with perfection. That shit had to be straightened out.
Yes, sir. Correctiveness, God. Peace, God.
Yeah, I hate to change the subject, but
you just changed the yeah, God. You absolutely right.
Like in appreciation for those jewels that was just dropped upon thee. Those jewels that was just dropped upon thee, hit that like button.
Right.
You know. But who said Orithian James? I thought it's Orenthal. You have two ears and one mouth. You know what I mean? But most definitely, you know, this was a good live.
This is why you don't go out.
This was a good live. The brother received his Supreme Mathematics. He's over there getting you getting your definitions together.
I was until
yeah. This that's what I said. Look, you know, you're a real 5% now. You've been.
No. Who said that? Stop brotherhood. Wait. Who this G?
This is
right here. Solid brotherhood.
This is our version of baptism. right, you on the 1 and 14 as well. What degree?
The live hot seat.
Hey yo, that's funny.
All right, you on the quality degree. Now, I want you to know we got people in this room like Wise You. He keeps track of these kind of things. So yeah, we don't even need a disclaimer today. You know, we can just say, just as a matter of fact, this is a Hotep channel. What do you say? Good cipher, bad cipher, balance in teaching?
Ain't no bad ciphers. There's no such thing as bad ciphers.
Yeah, how you see that good cipher, bad cipher?
There's no such thing as good ciphers.
Oh, fast, man. Let the brother speak. All right, you in Cream City with knowledge. We got a brother that comes on the live pretty much every day. That's from Cream City. You go to the rallies out there? Dr. Denkenstein.
Dr. who?
Dr. Denkenstein.
Dunkenstein. That's some shit, man. That's a name right there. Dr. Dunkenstein.
Self-kingdom is your enlightener. Do I know self-kingdom? What was Reggie's name?
Self-born.
Self-born, yeah.
Self-born.
I was about to say.
That's what I said.
I was about to say.
That's exact. Reggie the Rat. Reggie.
Hey, look. Somebody said that he's fool. But nah, I had the wrong brother. But Self-kingdom. I know this name too. Self-kingdom. I just can't place him, but I know who this is. All right, 8 Cent Truth.
No.
Right. 8 Cent Truth. I'm gonna get to see the brother.
2 years.
I'm gonna get to see the brother this weekend.
Brother. Look at his face. Look at my face.
You know what I mean? Speaking. You know, I'm gonna be down there to check out what's going on. Well, not what's going on. We know what's going on, but you know, to be a part of the memorial for
that's why I told you I'm Black Coder online. Whenever he teaches class, I pop up his Black Coder.
But other than that,
any of his classes when he was teaching class, and I popped up on any of his live.
Do we have any questions?
He always shout me out. We start talking
about any of the things that we built on today.
Music. I'm Vince Mills. I'm Vengeance.
Before we
from Fame Labs. I'm Fame Labs #1 enforcement.
Before we take our leave for today. Any questions on what we built on? You know, because did anyone find it you know, mathematical? You know, you can see the how mathematics work in that he spoke also on how there's things that how your understanding is going to grow over the time of you having knowledge. There's things that you see a certain way right now that you're not going to see the same way in 20 and 30 years of having the knowledge.
Word is bond.
Which was the subject of the live today, which is experience, right? And, you know, letting brothers know that every time you go into a new cipher, you know, you a baby in that cipher. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be able to be at what school? You know, but you know, you have to be able, because see, that's also a point of being humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be humble in order to really learn. You see what I'm saying? And that's one of the things you got to do. You got to be able to realize that anytime you going into a new cipher, right, that, you know, you just coming in, no matter how much older than all of the people may be there, the reality is you wasn't there. And so now they become, yeah, which
Jamel are you talking about? Word is bond. Like, you gotta understand, we've been a nation for about 30 years and plus. We know a bunch of Jamels, man.
But you know, so always remember that, you know, to remain humble. You know, I mean, like this brother right here said, you know, respect and observe. You know,
that's the knowledge.
Yeah, you have to be able to, you know, see yourself as a baby, right? And every new cipher that you go into in order to learn.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I mean?
Going to be at the school
and this also coincides with what I said, is that, look, if you reach the age, if you become so old that you can't learn no more, then you might as well go ahead and die.
Because you stop growing.
You see what I'm saying?
That which does not grow dies.
And as you become old, right, in that type of mentality, right, then you begin to become an old fool. You see what I'm saying? Because in essence, the older you get, like I said, it's only the young that can teach you. You already know all the old stuff. It's the young that's being created with supreme mathematics. These is going to be the new things that you never experienced before. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, you know, if you talking about, you know, how many trees is in the backyard, you know, your great grandmother, she's going to have more than you can really tell her about that. When this tree got there, when that tree got there, which one grows apples, which one grows oranges. But see, the cell phone science, the cell phone science, she got to learn that from great grandbaby. So always, man, keep that in mind, that, you know, experience in what? You can have experience in something that's not relative to what you're dealing with right now. And then what? You see what I'm saying? You're dealing with truth out of what? Season.
And that only breeds mythology.
And so the season that you got to realize that you could be in the spring season. You can't try to skip steps based upon what you knew from before. You got to actually have the experience in order to come with the fullest of the understanding. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes, look, sometimes the experience observing itself is an experience.
Losing time.
So, you know, when you
well, I'm just reading. I'm reading. That's all I'm reading. I'm reading the comment. When you Edison, you still ain't tell us what Jamel Allah you talking about. Yeah, word is bond. That's why I'm reading the comments. And I see losing time. I'm like, what's that?
You must be talking about, are you talking to Lord Jamel? But getting back to what I was saying, you know, each experience that you having, right? You gotta realize that this is how you come to the understanding. So see, I can experience certain things by watching you do it. So now what I'm saying is that the experience that you have that brings about understanding, right, can be different. Meaning there's some things that I'm going to experience, right, by observing how other people came out dealing with it and leaving it alone.
Word is bond.
That's going to be my experience. To where if somebody asks me, what's your experience with this? Never fucked with it. I never did that. That was not me. I saw people doing it and I was like, nah, it's not, it didn't look like my kind of thing. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and then there's other things like swimming, right? That you never going to come to the fullest understanding without getting in the water.
Word is bond. You can't ride a bike without riding a bike.
You understand what I'm saying? And being able to discern these things, this is what you use your life experience on. You know what I mean? But once you decided to go over there with your cup, don't have the cup full so that no more wisdom could be given. That's when you get into the point of trying to teach the teacher. And then you just get kicked out. So I'm going to take it that we don't have any questions for today. You know, everybody that made it this far in the live, do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you want to know when the lives come on, hit the notification button. And I will be seeing y'all tomorrow in the afternoon. Actually, tomorrow we're gonna go on it. You know what I'm saying? I guess Edison Brazil will let us know which Jamel Allah he's speaking on at that point in time. But in the meantime, in between time, this is not a movie, man. You doing your black people thing when you talking at the screen, man.
Nah, I'm talking to you.
You talking, I'm on the screen. You talking about?
Who's this Jamel Allah? I want to know.
I'm on TV right now, man. You over there talking at the screen, man. You know what I mean? Born Jamel. Yeah, I know Born Jamel. You mean Born Jamel knows us?
Yeah, Born Jamel used to live with us.
See, you gotta learn about live TV.
Yeah, you gotta teach me about that.
Yeah, that's what I see. But in the meantime, in between time, you know what I'm saying? Peace, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.